What's up, fam? Welcome to the Flow State Outdoors podcast.
And I just can't live without you.
What do you mean? There's fucking 2 Sheilas in the boat.
Listen to me every time.
Oh, fucking hell.
Cheers, man.
Cheers, mate. It's been too long.
Way too long.
Been fucking ages. You don't talk to me no more.
Hey, man. I was going to ask you actually if you deleted my phone number.
I thought you deleted mine.
Not at all.
I heard you've been up here all week, and then every morning I get up and have a coffee, walk outside, stand at the fence for half an hour, just thinking you're going to drop in and say good day.
I've been checking the mailbox, man, for invites for the last 18 months.
Oh, fucking hell. It always starts exactly like that every single time we go to a podcast.
Pretty much, yeah.
About one of us not talking to the other one.
That's what happens when you're busy, though.
Yeah. You're not even
For real.
I'm busy.
Yeah, fair enough. This is how not busy I am. I was that tired I had to pull over on the highway today at 1 o'clock and have a 2-hour sleep.
Fucking hell.
Full sending.
Fuck. You know when drinks taste like memories?
Yeah, that's why I was laughing before. I was like, holy shit, just flooded back. Oh, man. Espresso martini.
Tyson cannot, like, he can't even smell one anymore.
Really?
Proper broke him, man.
Yeah.
He was like...
It was offensive how much he drank, though, wasn't it?
Oh, it was, like, insane.
Yeah.
It was insane. I remember in the morning, like, I was cooked, and I packed up boat, and he was sitting in the chair... leaning forward with spew between his feet and like sleeping sitting up like he was fucked.
And he's such a quiet dude too, you can't picture that.
Nah, and
he usually holds himself together pretty well.
Yeah, well, he laid on the back cast deck of my boat the whole way back. I'll pull up and like pop for GTs and shit. He was copping spray. It was fucked. Rough as shut.
That's another trip you barred me from, actually.
What do you mean?
If I remember correctly.
Hey?
Didn't you swap me out for Tyson last minute?
Nah, you bailed.
Did I?
Pretty sure you did.
I don't bail.
Nah, I wouldn't have booted you. Surely not.
Was it that was a Bucks trip or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was
some other fellas.
That was a mate of mine's birthday party.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. His boats went up.
I'm low-key not upset I didn't go on that, though. You didn't do too well, did you?
Nah, it was weather was terrible for flats.
Yeah.
Got a few nice big queenfish and shit, but it's all fuck all permit.
Yeah, water quality's got a lot to do with that area.
Yeah. No GTs, and it was better tides than when we went. And we banged 4 of them fish.
The water was dirty, though, eh?
Yeah, it was filthy.
Yeah,
it was shit.
I think that plays a big part in that zone.
Yeah.
In my experience, but
all that fucking trip that we did up there back to me like it was when you asked me for them photos and I went back through my hard drive and then that's where I pulled up those fucking GT photos. Like I sort of half forgot about how lit that was for fucking half an hour.
Oh, that was a cool session.
That was insane, man.
Yeah, definitely.
That was insane.
I honestly, like, I shouldn't say this out loud, but right now, this period of my fishing, I couldn't give a fuck about GTs. Unless it's on fly on the flats, I don't care.
Yeah. I've gotten that way now. Like, fly and big barra are sort of the two ones that make me tick now. The rest of them fucking are just there, like,
that's honestly that's what I love about fishing is, like, you can be so focused, laser focused on something for a period of time.
Yeah.
And then you just move on to the next thing and put all your energy into what excites you at that period of time. That's why, to a degree, I admire, like, Benny, what he does. He is just obsessed with GTs non-stop. You can't really sway him to either way. Else. Yeah, that's just his obsession.
I feel like when you're younger, though, like, you try everything, which is I did. Like, I'd fish for I'd fish for anything, anywhere, anyway.
Yeah.
And then it's sort of like, as you get older and, like, you stay in the game long enough, you just narrow it down and then you pick things that you like.
Different things excite you. And I think, like, I don't know, for me, a big part of it is the adventure of where a species will take you, like, to a certain location. Because you always, like, I didn't do a lot of travelling when I was young. I didn't go overseas before. When was the first time I went overseas? Was America with cast.
Yeah, right.
I was like 36 years old, I think, before I went overseas. So I just did travelling, like, sort of within Queensland, but not a lot of it at all. Fished the local hard as fuck. I mean, when I moved to Redcliffe, I got shown how to use soft plastics by a guy that I used to play soccer with. He lives in Cairns now. And I just did that for 10 years, floating around on a kayak. and that's all I did was just fish the local. Didn't travel, didn't do nothing. But then as I developed a bit more of an interest in what I was like doing, the adventure kind of like really pulled me a little bit more.
I've slowed down heaps now. Like I still live for the send, but like instead of like just focusing on getting there and fishing, like the whole process of the whole thing and the whole way back, like the reflection side of it on the whole way back, like added so much more value to trips now.
100%.
Like we did that trip on the weekend I went with Aiden and Rennie, and filmed that bow hunt and stuff. And Aiden was super chill because he's of a similar sort of mindset. Like hunts hard when you have to, and whatever, but also takes in like everything else that goes on. We ended up building like a fucking bird hide at a water trough out of all these branches. And sat under it for like 2 hours.
Let all the birds come to you.
Just sitting down taking photos. He grabbed my long lens and just sat there for fucking hours. It was unreal. I know I was off it because I'm off bird photos. Proper. Like,
sorry, Adrian.
He knows I'm off him.
He's fucking good at it.
He takes some fucking amazing. He's one of them dudes that. Did you ever see that photo he put up with? Is like a kingfisher flicking a spider around in his mouth. You do not ask him.
Probably took him 6 months to get it.
Yeah, sitting down in this one spot the whole time, and he knew the kingfisher landed on this stick at a certain time of day or whatever it was, and he just sat there. I think it was multiple days for a long time. With the thing focused on this stick. And I think he shot the kingfisher. But wasn't happy. He wanted it eating something.
Really?
And I think he wanted it with a fish or something like that. But I think it ended up with a spider.
That's cool, man.
Which is how he got that shot.
That's just dedication. But that separates like really high level shit.
We were talking about this before. Like people don't understand. Like people see the end product and go, "Oh yeah, that's amazing," and they know like you worked hard, but like not actually how hard you worked
for
and
sure.
how much time it took for one photo.
100%.
This bird is running the fuck.
It's
I have a therapy budgie.
What for, by the way?
No idea.
PTSD or something.
I'm just
probably from PTSD from 5 years in Darwin.
Yes. Fuck that. 5 years in Darwin aged me 15.
At least.
Yeah, fuck me, that was wild. I'm going back up for the fucking... I got Juddy's moving to Albury, I think.
Yeah, okay. He's in the army, isn't he?
Yeah, at the end of the year. And he's just about to... Oh, no, I don't know if it's common knowledge yet. I won't say that bit. But I won't say that bit. But he's... so he can't fish the classic with the other boys. So I got fucking Norman. I got to go back up there for that week.
Oh no.
Yeah, fucking hell. I got to fish the classic.
I'm just gonna have a minute silence for you right now.
I need one. Fuck, I'm not looking forward to it. Hey, like I hardly drink anymore and shit.
It's a loose place, man. It opened my eyes.
Oh, I didn't realise how loose it was until I come back here.
Yeah, back to like normal, the normal.
And like, I miss it in an unhealthy way. Like I could proper go back there and just slide back into that lifestyle.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely couldn't slide into that lifestyle full time. I'd just end up like 120 kilos.
Fucking drunken mess.
Yeah, proper. It's just, I don't know, it's so hot up there, you just always want to drink a beer. And I get it. I totally get it.
Yeah, it's special though. Like different. Like the landscape and like the...
Yeah.
I've never seen a sunset better than the sunset
It's
up there.
so wild, man. That just that country is so wild. Even being like out around the Vernons and stuff like that, it's so rugged. Like it's just, you can tell it's...
I want to do that again.
Untouched.
I want to do that like with more time.
Yeah.
And actually like go and... Like imagine if we had like a week just around those islands and we didn't have to keep pulling out every day. Yeah. We could camp somewhere and we fish them again.
I was thinking about that maybe a couple of months ago. If we had a thought about it, we probably could have went there and then took camping gear over to the Tiwis. Yeah. And just sent all the way over there.
Yeah. It's not that vernons
No.
From the top of the Vernons to the bottom of the Tiwis. Yeah. It's not far at all.
Yeah. And it could, because that's one place I really, really had been looking at for years. Yeah. A long, long time. And just never really had the opportunity to get there. But it's pretty, the Vernon group, I really think that's got a lot of potential on the right tides, for sure. Yeah. I mean, look at all the shit we saw. Yeah. And it wasn't even ideal.
Fuck, man.
It took us 3 days to figure it out. And we got money on the last afternoon.
The last day. Remember that? Yeah. Remember, do you reckon they were Goldens? Like all on that rocks where you couldn't walk?
Yeah, I reckon.
They were all like Goldens, like, what, how many? 10 of the cunts?
Headstanding. Yeah.
Headstanding on the rocks and you couldn't wade to it, you couldn't get a boat there, nothing.
And big tuskies.
Yeah, that was big tuskies. Yeah, well, you hooked one.
Harry Hot Lips.
Yeah, you hooked a few of them too.
Yeah. That was good.
Fucking hell.
That was a cool trip.
Yeah,
That's
actually.
the sort of shit I like. That's what I mean about adventure. Like, you
Yeah.
pick somewhere and you go, fuck, let's go have a look.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And,
Yeah.
like, because you see that sort of thing on you know, social platforms and stuff. People go, oh, you're so lucky, that's awesome, you know, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. Just go and do it.
Yeah. And that's
It's
the
not
thing.
that fucking hard.
Nah. It's the... Everyone wants to, but no one will just do it. And it's
Yeah.
not... The hardest part is committing to it.
Yeah.
The logistics
Yeah.
and everything else that
Yeah.
comes after that is actually easy.
Yeah, especially if you go step by step. I think what gets in people's head is they think it's too hard.
Yeah.
Like, I know for me, even sometimes certain things intimidate me, like certain trips intimidate me. And then I think, oh, no, fuck it, just get in the boat and go.
Yeah.
And once you're there, you're just like, well, fuck, I'm here.
It's not like any other day.
That's right.
It's not that fucking
yeah.
hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never had too much of a drama with that.
Yeah.
Like, but I do
Especially if you
notice
have
it.
confidence in your gear.
Yeah.
Like, you have confidence in your car, your boat, you know, your seamanship or whatever.
Yeah.
Just always, I always feel like, almost, not every time, but incrementally always just step slightly outside your comfort zone
You have
each
to.
time, and then all of a sudden you're doing
Yeah.
shit that you never thought you would do 5 years ago.
Yeah. There's no success in being comfortable in any
No.
form of, I don't reckon.
Yeah.
Because, like, you can be like, oh, I'll be comfortable when I earn fucking $1 million a year.
Yeah.
And you earn $1 million a year, and then you live in $1 million lifestyle, and then you want that little bit more, so you need 1.2 million.
Yeah.
And it just constantly, you're never truly comfortable. I don't think.
Yeah. I think what I've realised in my life as I got older is I don't like the feeling of accomplishment.
You don't.
I don't like it. So, like, when I feel like I've accomplished something, it's
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm real stale.
Yeah.
Like, I go real soft
Yeah,
and just
I know
like,
what you
oh,
mean.
I couldn't be fucked doing anything.
Constant bar.
You need to
raising.
have the bar raised all the
Yeah.
time. Like, I need to chase a carrot constantly.
Yeah.
And not just like a send, but like I need to have a outrageous goal
Yeah.
that I think only I can do.
Yeah.
Like, in terms of like a business or, you know, even, you know, the only thing that I probably haven't done that with now due to time is like stay on top of my fitness like I used
Yeah.
to. But business, fishing, you know, like bow hunting goals, all that sort of stuff, like I've got them firmly in my sight, and
Yeah.
I know that you've just got to do it. Like, you just got to put the work in, and then when it happens, it's like this feeling of gratification that is not instant.
Yeah.
You've worked for it, and it's fucking priceless.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to show my kids.
Yeah, 100%. And like, do you ever, you know, when you're like, you've got a goal, and you're just about to get there, and you know you like just it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Say like tomorrow it's going to tick the box.
Yep.
You're already forgotten about the fucking thing,
100%,
and you're on to the next one.
100%.
And then it happens, and you're like
Yeah.
heaps of people are real stoked, and you're like, oh yeah, that's cool, kick on. Like,
Exactly.
shut up about
yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't take praise very well. It's nice, but I'm like super critical of myself.
Yeah, same.
In my own head, it's
I think you have to
torture.
be though. If you
Yeah.
want to be truly like top tier in whatever you're trying to do, you have to be super critical.
Yeah, and I think top tier is relative to what you believe top tier is as well.
Yeah.
Like, some people might think, say for instance, cast, right?
Yeah.
The amount of messages I've got over the last few weeks, just super complimentary of cast, and oh, it's massive, it's huge business, blah blah blah
Yep.
blah. It's fantastic, but I see it as like this, like its current progress. I see it as like a grain of sand in the bucket.
Yep.
Because I can see where it can go and where I
Yeah.
want it to go. So this is just like, oh yeah, cool. I'm
Yeah.
really happy with it, don't get me wrong, but this is like 1% of where I
Yeah.
want it to go.
I'm the same. And like, I'm just starting my journey with all
Yeah.
this sort of shit. And it's
Yeah.
like that. The patience thing is the hardest part for me.
Yeah, consistently patient.
Consistent, and you have to stop yourself. Like, you can't rush. Otherwise, you fuck up, I think,
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah.
Or like you make poor decisions.
Yeah.
Like, you make like emotional-based decisions, or like pressured decisions
Yeah.
when you shouldn't.
Yeah, definitely.
Whereas, like, if you look, I've just been real big on the last sort of year or two is just focusing on long term.
Yep.
And like, all of the decisions I make in the meantime are way slower,
Yep.
or might even hurt me initially,
Yeah.
but long term
Yep.
helps me get to where I need to go.
Yeah, for sure.
I've been reading a book. I actually should show it to you.
Yeah.
I don't know if I told you about it. It's called Atomic Habits.
Yeah, you sent me a screenshot
Yeah,
of it.
it's
I
like
haven't
small
got it yet.
incremental changes,
Yep.
percentage changes.
Yep.
And it talks about like, it starts off referencing, I've got to remember I could be wrong here, so don't fucking fact check me, people. But there's basically the UK, the European bike like road bike people, like Tour de France shit.
Yeah.
Those competitions, the Europeans were shit at it for so long. So they got this guy in, and I can't remember his name, and he implemented all of these percentile changes, like make the seats comfier, change the clothing so they actually actually got rider input to design, like aesthetic, like simply absolutely nothing
placebo type effect.
So it makes them feel better about wearing it, and like he like added to all these little tiny things because he worked out like the 2% rule, and that's a fucking rabbit hole in itself, but like built it up to the point where they like won like Europeans won like 2017, 2018. Yeah, right. All these bike events.
But it changed from 15 years ago.
Yeah. Like just adding like small things that aren't even like super insignificant or not even directly related to the end goal. And over time they compound. Definitely. on top of itself.
Well, look at that in your film production.
Yeah. 100%.
Look at that. Like the first time was maybe Victoria's goals.
Yeah. Talking over the camera. Yeah,
all sorts of shit.
Yeah.
Like, and then now, what you produce is fucking like top draw.
Yeah.
But you won't see it as top draw.
No, I don't.
Because you can see like what I was saying to you before. Like, it's weird.
It
like,
is.
But without that mentality, you don't fucking go further.
Nah.
So
you have to. And then
have it.
And like on that, like I haven't got there just by just doing film. It helps, like just doing films.
But it's all the late nights, researching, reading, practicing.
Fuck, I've got
fucking around with settings.
Yeah, notes coming out my asshole.
Yeah,
man. Like
it's study.
Yeah.
Like when people say, you're super talented or you're really good at that or whatever, like that's cool, but that's the surface assessment. Yeah. It's like jiu-jitsu, for example.
Yeah.
Like you're at a certain level of that because of the last 10 years of what you've been doing.
Yeah.
But no one sees the 10 years.
Nah. And that's a perfect, like, that sport, martial art, whatever you call it, is like the perfect example of what we're talking about. Because, like, it's a minimum, roughly, like, unless you're some fucking God's gift, it's like a minimum 10-year journey just to get to black.
Yeah.
And then it just never ends from that either.
Yeah.
And to get, like, world class, like, it's fucking unbelievable, man.
It's like you said, it's like anything that's a highly skilled path, like filmmaking, being good at business, bow hunting, fishing in certain degrees, like artificials or fly or, like any of that sort of stuff that's kind of like really niche and takes a lot of repetitive dedication.
Yeah.
You only see the outcome, you don't see the process. Yeah.
And the failures, like...
Yeah.
And that's why I think there's so little people that are in, like, that are, like, qualified to be successful or, like, classed as successful is because they fail 100 times, 1,000 times,
sure.
whatever.
No doubt.
Because, like, you fail once on a fishing trip and it turns you off that spot, that place or whatever method it is or anything.
But you don't stop fishing, do you?
No, exactly that.
Yeah. And that's interesting. What do you define as success?
I think it's it within
you.
I think there's no judge other than yourself.
Yeah. So what do you think it is? Like when are you like at your most? When you feel satisfied briefly?
Briefly satisfied?
Yeah. In business, say.
I don't think I've ever been satisfied. I think that's like the curse of ambition. Yeah. I reckon.
Yeah, I think for me, when I knew I didn't want to be in construction anymore, I was like, okay, that's success. I've squeezed everything out of that I want. Then I'm like, okay, there's no more energy to give to that. So that's, for me, that's success. Yep. It's like clocking a video game or something like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then move on to the next bit. So for me, I feel like it's kind of like Joe Rogan's thing, how he says, if you really love what you do and you're dedicated and passionate to living a lifestyle that you have, retirement is not a word.
Nah.
Like, retirement is for people who hate their jobs.
Yeah.
And they just can't wait to get to the fucking end of it. And I was looking at that 5 years ago. I was looking at that life going, fuck, I can't wait to get out of construction. Can't wait to retire. Blah, 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 blah. But then I thought, fuck, I'll be 55, 60 years old by the time I retire. But now I earn way less money than I did in my construction career. But I am fucking infinitely more... satisfied with my life,
happy, like, fulfilled.
Definitely. Yeah. Like, I've met so many great people. Like this, honestly, this journey through Cast and all the little offshoots.
You're a
and
master
shit.
of your own time.
Yeah,
which I
and it
think is-
changes my life with relationships. Like, I've met the best people of my life because I'm actually passionate about what all these other people are passionate about. So
Yeah.
we get on, we have a
Like-minded
connection.
people.
Yeah, we have a connection that's way deeper than, you know, going to work with someone and go, hey, mate, how was your weekend? You know,
Yeah.
fucking, and talking shit just so
Yeah.
that you can get on with them.
Yep.
That's not the life for me. I'm
No.
too old to put up with that shit now.
I am literally like at my full time gig, which people don't think I have, but I've
Yeah.
got a full time gig as like a project manager, and at that job, like I don't go to staff morning teas,
Yeah.
I don't go to staff lunches,
Yep.
I don't go to social events, I
Yep.
don't meet after work, I don't
Yeah,
do
yeah,
any
yeah.
of that,
Yep.
and like people
was
think
me in the last few years of
just
mine.
fucking not
Yeah.
interested, man.
Yeah.
And like I could not be fucked talking about work. Like
Yeah.
I literally like
Yeah.
I get home and like the last thing I want to do is even talk, like
Yep.
even think about it.
Yep. I'm
Yeah.
the same. Like I still do engineering consulting,
Yeah.
just on the off, you know, like whenever I can help.
A little bank kicker and
yeah,
shit.
it's a little bank kicker, and it's also like there's a labour shortage in that
Mm.
industry as well, especially skilled, experienced labour.
Yeah.
So I'm good friends with an owner of one
Mm.
of the companies, the one that I worked in Bowen for a couple of months, and he basically, it's a good little gap filler for him when he can't get anyone that knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
It's a good little bank kicker for me, but it's cold and clinical. It's
Yeah.
like I'm in, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm not part of that business. I don't.
Yep.
It's not that I don't care what happens to the business, but I've got
Yeah.
my own path, and that's just a small.
And it
part
maintains
of it.
relationships with those people too, because
Yeah.
like Cast might shit the bed,
For sure.
God forbid, but
You don't
Cast
know-
might shit the
you
bed
don't
and
know
you
what's
could
gonna
pick
happen.
up
Yeah.
work back there. Like
Yep.
I'm big on not burning bridges, hey.
Definitely.
Not unless you have to. Like
Yeah.
And a lot of people burn them for no fucking
No
reason.
reason. Emotional. Yeah.
Emotion. That's one thing I have learned that I
Keep
like.
it in check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to. And that's one thing I reckon I can like give advice on
Yeah.
and actually back it.
Yeah.
Is like, because everything else is sort of subjective too, like it's subjective.
Yeah.
But is do not make important decisions based on emotion. Never.
Yeah. It's very hard to do.
It's fucking almost impossible
Yeah.
to do. That's why you like take a little bit of time to
Yeah.
fucking process
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
So never write an email at night.
Yeah.
Go to sleep, let it
Right in the
process. In the morning, have a good, think about it.
Yep.
Yeah, it's interesting because the whole emotional thing. Like I'm a pretty emotional person.
Yeah.
Like I'm a pretty sensitive dude. I like giving my all to my friendships and my relationships in terms of like if you're my mate and I tell you I love you, I fucking mean it.
Yeah.
And when people shit on me, that cuts me deep.
Yeah.
Like that breaks my fucking heart.
Yep.
But I've been through some things in the last like 4 or 5 years, some really heavy stuff.
Yeah.
That's really like calloused.
Yeah.
that. And it's made me just go, okay, well, this is that. and
Yeah.
it's not the reality. Like
Shit is black and white.
when
you strip
emotions
everything
create
back.
your own fucking reality,
Yes.
and it's definitely different to what the actual reality
Yep.
is. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've said this before. I'm pretty sure it's a podcast that you and I have done. Like, I like how Joe Rogan passes opinions on stuff.
Yeah.
He does research on the left side of the fence.
Yeah.
He does research on the right side of the fence.
Yeah.
And then he makes his own decision.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas most people have just their life experience or what
Yeah,
people
yeah,
have told
yeah.
them or
Yeah.
whatever and base their decisions on that.
Yeah.
Which I think is unhealthy.
It's all emotion.
And
That is. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
I feel like once you strip it back,
Yeah.
nearly every decision is like pretty well black and white. And it should have black and white outcomes. There might be more than one.
Yeah, for sure. And then
But-
you got to pick the best one.
Yeah. And then how you do that. So like, one thing it's all reading this fucking book, but like breaking down, I need to do A or B to get the C.
Yeah.
But you can break down A into 3 other smaller decisions.
Yeah.
And then you could pick the best of them to manipulate what the A decision
Yeah,
could
yeah.
be,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
sort of thing, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. I know what
Yeah.
you're saying. Yeah, just break it up into smaller series of problems
Yeah.
that you can solve quicker.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like, and that's like sort of looping it back, like having that never satisfied type of mentality, especially in business. You got to go through that process every single
Yeah.
day. Like, you can't just go through that process and go, "Oh, I made a good decision today."
Yeah.
And then tomorrow your business has moved on, or the customers have changed, or your products changed. You got problems to fix, and you've always got to think so far ahead. Yeah, it's a constant stimulation of like
Yep.
your creativity and your
It's
drive.
tiring, man.
Yeah, it is.
It
It's
is
a constant
fucking
grind.
tiring.
That's why people say it's a grind. It's a fucking
It
grind.
is actually a grind.
No matter how much money you're making.
Yeah.
Because every business too ebbs and flows with revenue and cash flow. and costs and all that. Like you might be killing it for a year or even 2 years.
Yeah.
Excuse me, and then for the next 6 months, it's a fucking grind.
Yeah.
Like we all go through that, like, and that's what I was saying about back when everyone goes, "Oh, you're killing it. This is awesome." Yeah. That's the vibe, but there's all these gears and machines and shit in underneath that no one sees.
I would love to give the people that say that to you. I would love to give them just 10 minutes in my head, just 10 minutes,
sure.
man, 10 minutes, and they would be like, "Holy fuck, is it actually worth it?"
Yeah, and that's the thing. You can't make that determination until you're in it, and
you have to
for
stay
me
the
it was
course.
like, oh bro, in the last 7 years, like my marriage could have ended multiple times, like my business could have folded multiple times. Like I was super unhealthy on a handful of occasions. Look, it's not an easy path,
man,
but that was the path that I chose. So you got to go for it.
Yeah, and I think it's as you go along, you learn to manage it. Like when I first started out with all this shit, I was like about that hustler's mentality, where you fucking barely sleeping and you just fucking grind your ass off, and then you try and deal with everything at once.
Yeah.
Whereas now, I try and work on getting a good night's sleep, which I think makes a difference. Burn the candle when you have to.
Yeah, when you have to.
If you have to burn the candle, burn the candle.
Yeah.
Don't be a little bitch, but still try and get your good night's sleep.
Yeah.
Still try and exercise and manage your time. And one saying that stuck with me for a long time is shoot the wolf closest to the sled.
Yep. Yeah, the biggest problem.
Yeah. Deal with the one that's right in front of you now.
Yeah.
Because I noticed, like, since I've been going down this sort of road that I'm on, is like, and I've always sort of been that person that everyone comes to with like problems, whether it's like girlfriends or fucking breakups and like heavy emotional shit. Because I feel like I've always had like a rational perspective.
Yeah. Just a solid sounding board.
Yeah, I think so. So like I've seen it from the outside looking at that shit.
Yeah.
And then it's always like they come to you and they tell you like about these 10 things that are happening.
Yeah.
They're all bad.
Yeah.
And they're like, don't know what to do.
Yeah.
I'm just like, okay, what's the most pressing?
Yeah.
Deal with that now.
Yeah.
And then that ticks that fucking box.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're trying to deal with 10
Yeah.
and you start all 10 and you get a little bit through them and you never ever tick any of the boxes.
Yeah.
So then it makes it worse.
Yeah. That's probably the number one thing I've learned to overcome in terms of like, because people always say to me, fuck man, you never stop. I don't know how you do it, blah, 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 blah. Because like missus, 3 kids, they all play sport, they're all in school. That's a handful in itself, even if you got a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
For 5 years, I had a 9 to 5 plus this. Now I've got a bit of consulting. I've got cast full time. I've got cast in the USA as well now.
Yeah.
We've got Ocean Blend as well. Cast tackle. We've got a retail distributorship deal with Tackle World now. There's a bunch of shit going on right now, but there's only a certain amount of things you can do each day. So like you get your list and you go, this is number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. If you try to, well, me personally, if I look at all the shit I've got going on right now, it's overwhelming and I freeze.
Yeah. And you never get anything done.
Yeah, exactly.
Do something rather than do fucking a shit job of everything.
That's right. Yeah.
I always get like a
That's the trap with the grind mentality.
Yeah.
Everyone goes, fuck, you just got to burn the candle. You nailed it on the head when you said grind when you have to.
Yeah. When you have to, when you have to turn it up.
Yeah.
You got to have the balls to fucking
It's like in
pull
sport.
it on.
A game will ebb and flow.
Yeah.
But when it's time to put the pressure on, you put the pressure on.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Same with like all the combat sports and stuff that I've done. Sometimes like shit gets hard and like you know that like it's probably going to go down to a split decision or like really tight points or something.
Yep.
And then you've got to go,
Push.
I've got to fucking turn
Take
it
a
on, man.
risk and
I'm
push.
fucked. I feel like spewing, but you just got to keep.
Yeah.
You got to have that bit of stink, I think.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's it.
you have to.
Exactly.
One thing I get is like a lot of people go like, oh, and I think I've addressed this a heap of times, but like people say, how do you find the time? There's enough time, sort of.
Yeah.
Like there's,
It's how you
obviously
use your
people are
time.
like 24 hours in a day with another 12 to sleep or whatever on that. But it's how you manage it.
Definitely.
Like I can't remember the last time I turned the fucking TV on.
Oh, me neither. I haven't watched TV for 5 years.
Yeah. I've taken, like, I've always trained. So I train every night, and that's my switch off. So 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. I train.
Yep.
Nearly every 5 or 6 days a week. And then I was trying, like, gym to break up my day.
Yep.
Because I like the little dopamine hit at, like, smoko lunchtime.
Yeah.
and that kicks me through my arvo. I try and get up early. I try and like read. I hate reading.
Yep.
Hate fucking books.
Yeah, right.
But it's the best way. And I actually read this to find this out, but it's which is a bit fucking weird. But a book is the best way to grab the most information in the shortest time.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah.
So you watch a YouTube tutorial, right? It takes 10 minutes.
Yeah.
10 minutes will give you 2 pages of a book.
Yeah.
Like, no, that's not the right way of saying it. 10 minutes will give you 10%
Yeah.
of information on the
I
topic.
feel like reading's a more effective way to bring it in because you're actually soaking it in.
Yeah.
You're not just watching it, get distracted. And all that.
Yeah, and you're not like distracted by
it
the
doesn't
visuals.
just glaze over you.
Nah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like, yeah, exactly that. Exactly that. You're more attentive. And, so like a video will give you like 10% of the information on that specific topic.
Yeah.
Whereas, and like it's one person's opinion, but you know the work, like people that are journalists and shit, the amount of fact checking and work they have to do before they even publish something.
Yeah.
So you know that most of, like non-fiction books are heavily researched.
Yeah.
So the information in them is like highly accurate, and it's super detailed.
Yeah.
Because they need to justify and contextualize it.
For sure.
So when you read the book, you get fucking 50 10-minute tutorials with super accurate information, not just one-sided opinions.
Do you know what I like the most about books with shit like that teach you something?
Yeah.
Is humans are fucking thousands of years old, right? Maybe books have been around for a few hundred years. No matter what you're going through, some motherfucker in the past has been through it and written a fucking book about it.
Yep.
I guarantee it.
Yeah.
These problems are not new.
Yeah.
They're just slightly changed. You know?
Yep.
We're all humans. We're all the fucking same.
Yeah.
It's it's really interesting. I need to get back into books more, but I feel like I don't have the time. Like, kids throw your routine out.
They definitely
massively. Like, you can't have your life as a timetable. You have to be flexible. Everyone out there with kids will understand exactly what I mean. It's just like a tornado at times.
Yeah.
It's talking about shoot the fucking wolf closest to the
sledge.
Yeah. I got 3 of them every fucking day. Surrounded the sled.
Yeah.
So, you gotta deal with all that. But that's just normal life. Everyone's got that. But sleep's a massive thing. Like, when I go on these fucking road trips, it cooks me because, like, grind when you have to. I'm sending through the night, sleeping on couches, sleeping in swags, like for 2 weeks at a time, bulk filming content, all that sort of shit, so someone can watch something on Instagram for a minute and go, that was sick.
Yeah.
You know
and then
what I mean?
forget about it until later on.
Exactly, yeah. But it's because I love it and I love the people involved in it. That drives me, getting back to it. To me, that's success. If you're enjoying your day, no matter how hard it is or how much of a grind it can be, if you're enjoying what you do with your time, that to me is success.
Yeah.
Fuck the money.
Yep. Agree.
You've got to have enough to be comfortable, but if you're enjoying how you spend your life, that's money, man.
I just want financial freedom.
Yeah.
To not have to worry about money.
Yep.
And like, I've got this fucking bug up my ass about being a master of my own time, man. I hate asking
100%.
for time off.
I said this to you
fucking
years
stirs
ago.
me up,
I
man.
cannot stand asking another grown man if I can have time off.
Yeah.
To go and spend with my kids or something.
To live my own motherfucking life.
Yeah,
man.
I get it, and I know people out there have 9 to 5s. I have it. If I ever have to have one again to put food on the table, I will definitely do it, 100%. But it doesn't sit well.
Yeah.
I just don't like it. Yeah.
Some people are happy with it.
Of course.
I'm not,
Everyone's different.
It fucking irks me.
Yeah. Some people have amazing 9 to 5s, man, where they fucking have a great community of people at their workplace. They have great coin. They have good bosses. They get that satisfaction, and they have, reasonably steady, good level income to go and do stuff on the weekends that they want to do.
And if you're happy
But it's
doing
just
that, then fucking it's not for me either.
Yeah.
And if you're happy doing that, then fucking you go for it.
Kudos, fucking oath.
Yeah.
Everyone's different, eh?
Yeah. Sort of almost sometimes like when you get down and you're so ready to just quit.
Yeah.
And you're like, fuck man, why just can't I be like that?
Oh, especially, do you ever get weird, this is probably going to be so relatable to everybody. Like, if you're doing something, you're on a path or whatever, and if you're on that grind and you're just not getting anywhere and you're really feeling like you're you're putting in all the effort, but nothing's coming of it.
Yeah.
And you see someone else who appears to be putting in no effort whatsoever, just killing it.
It fucking irks you,
It
man.
does, eh?
Yep. And that's another thing I've learned not to do
That's
is...
that emotional thing.
Yeah, it is. Is not compare yourself.
Yeah.
You can't.
That's right.
'Cause
And the other thing is, what you... Like, if you think that person hasn't put any effort in, you don't know their late nights
probably went
and
through some-
failures and
yeah,
self-doubt.
heavy shit.
And, yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Everyone's got it, man.
Fucking
That's why,
oath.
like, the older I get, I just give no fucks about what anyone else is doing.
Same.
Like, we have this conversation in business all the time amongst us. Like, you know, competitors will get brought up and, you know, other people in the space and shit. And I just, like, I just say, I don't care.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to keep your eyes on the competition. No, you don't.
No.
Just keep your eyes on the path, and they can chew your dust for all I care. I don't
Yeah.
care. It has no bearing on my happiness or sadness.
It shouldn't do.
Whatsoever.
And like, yeah, I agree 100%. I don't know, like, hypothetically, there's no arseholes in business. Like, there's no reason, there's enough room in nearly any niche for everyone, I think.
Yeah.
I reckon.
If everyone in that space is committed
Yes.
to growing the pie.
100%.
Most people are committed to growing their slice, though.
Yeah.
That's where competition comes from.
100%.
That's where all the shit talk in the fishing industry starts. Everyone goes, oh, fucker, he's selling certain
It's
lures, he's selling this, they're copying this, but
Man,
fuck off.
The fishing industry is
Yeah.
toxic.
Man,
It probably
honestly,
is everywhere.
If every little business in this industry concentrated on growing the pie, like Steve Morgan, he fucking grows the pie. Like, I remember watching when I subscribed to QFM, right? He had the magazines, then he started the tournament scene. You know, like growing the fucking pie, man.
Yeah.
Because guess what? Everyone's slice gets bigger when you do that.
Yeah. So look at it like, if you wanted to put that in like layman's terms, grow fishing.
That's what I'm saying.
Get everybody
Yeah.
into fishing.
That's
Make
what I'm
fishing
saying.
better. Make fishing
100%.
more encompassing and
Yep.
like get like more women involved, more
Yep.
kids involved,
Absolutely.
more families involved.
Yeah.
More the better.
Yeah,
Because then the pie's bigger. Your slice
Absolutely.
is ultimately bigger without you even having to
100%.
try that much.
Like, you look at our Instagram, right? You go scroll through our Instagram, you'll see on their photos where someone's thrown a black ledge lure, an ASWB lure, a fucking something from Ebb Tide, something you can only get from Elite Tackle. We sell lures.
Yeah.
But if it's a fucking good picture and it's someone who supports us by wearing a hat or something, it's getting posted.
Yeah, 100%. And like, well, I was talking about this in the car before, and like with the coffee.
Yeah.
So like, obviously I've got Hustle and Grind. We went with Aiden and I went with Aiden and Rennie for that hunt, film
Yep.
that hunt.
Yep.
Aiden and Twin Elements and those boys are tied up with Dog and Gun.
Yep.
And Aiden needed to shoot something for Dog and Gun. I
Yep.
shot it for him.
Yeah.
Like, who gives a fuck?
Yeah, that's
the
right.
dog, the dude, I don't even know the dude.
Yeah, yeah.
But he looks like he's doing real cool shit. He's got
Yep.
fucking sick content.
Yep.
His coffee's delicious. I drank some.
Having a crack.
I drank some on that trip. I
Yeah.
tried it.
Yeah.
Like, what?
There's nothing wrong with that.
Why do that? Like,
Yeah.
why go, fuck, I'm not shooting that.
Exactly.
He's a competitor.
But there's plenty of people in these industries that do that
Yeah.
and are like that. And a lot of them aren't actually fishermen. A lot of them are businessmen. And I get it. I can respect everyone's path. But it just causes like weird atmos, you know what
I
I mean?
understand. But I think people think of it that way when it doesn't, it doesn't always have to be.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, like, if I didn't shoot that,
Yeah.
Aiden would have got somebody else to shoot it.
Yeah, of
And then I'm
course.
not helping a
Yeah.
fucking friend out.
Yep.
Who's taken me to his
Exactly,
backyard and
exactly.
teaching me
Yep.
how to bow hunt.
Yep.
Like,
It's all balance,
fuck,
eh?
man.
Yeah. Just
Like,
live your life, everything comes out in the wash.
100%.
Yeah. I think
don't
also
want-
there's a lack of sometimes I feel like there's a lack of self-belief in
Yeah.
some of these companies that just go out of the way to be rubbish.
Yeah.
Like rubbishing people in each industry. It happens in construction. It's
Yeah.
a
It's
human
everywhere, I
thing.
think, man.
Yeah, it's a human thing.
I just think that it's super unnecessary. And like, I don't want to have beef with everyone. I will. I'm not afraid to have beef. I don't give a fuck. But I don't want to.
Yeah.
And like, it's a waste of both companies' time
Yeah.
to like be invested in that shit.
Absolutely. It's a waste of energy.
Yeah.
It actually takes
Why
away
can't
from
everyone
both
just?
people.
Why can't everyone? The whole
Man,
pie thing.
I could tell you so many rubbish stories from behind the scenes.
But
Like,
also
what-
catch me if you can.
Yeah, like, that's it. Like the amount of like rubbish and shit talk that like I've been subjected to in the past in the fishing industry.
Yeah.
Like, I'll never say it publicly, but I've got a long memory. I understand where these people come from. I know what they do, and
Yeah.
like I hear what they say, and it is what it is. But at the end of the day, does it worry me? Not really.
It shouldn't.
You can't keep everyone happy. And in an industry where it's really like, especially now with social media, a business's success relies on its connection to the community that it's part of, not its connection to any competitors.
No.
So, you know, the market is so freely available for everyone. Who you think is a dedicated customer can be super fleeting and just jump ship immediately, and there's nothing you can do about it. So you've kind of got to be at peace with the market being so, the word, fluid.
Yeah. And well,
there's no use like trying to hold on to someone else's customer.
No.
They'll come back to you, then they'll go away, and then they'll come back to you, and then they'll go away.
And spin it around to your lure thing, right? That you said. There's shots of people holding Blackledge or whatever with a cast hat.
Yeah.
They still bought your fucking hat.
Of course, yeah, that's
just
right.
Because I didn't buy a lure and a hat.
Yeah,
you're
that's
shit
right.
on them. Like,
exactly. Yeah.
That's the shit I mean.
Yeah.
Like,
there's plenty out there like that, man, and I can guarantee you, it's not only the guys that are older than me.
Yeah.
Like the whole new breed thing came about with Cast because I wanted it to be more inclusive of people. Like I never had social media platforms before I had Cast. So I was 33 years old before I had a Facebook account or an Instagram. And I was shocked by what I saw on that platform with people just rubbishing each other. Like someone had caught a fish that they'd never caught before, and people were at them because they weren't the first to do it that way, or, you know, they didn't do it a certain way that other people...
But they might not have even said that in their post, man. Like,
who gives a fuck?
And that shit's cruel.
Enjoy your moment.
Yeah. I bet you 90% of people wouldn't say that to their fucking face either.
Yeah, that's it. And that's what I mean. And that was the whole thing with the new breed, you know, like I wanted it to be a positive spin on fishing and inclusive, and really just bring it back to fishing rather than the politics of it all.
And if you're happy with
we've
that,
done that.
Yeah. If you're happy with that, like, and if you focus on building the community, like, there's probably someone that's going to listen to this podcast and never heard of Dog and Gun Coffee, and is probably going to buy Dog and Gun Coffee.
Exactly. Yeah, that's right.
If you buy that coffee and you enjoy that coffee and you resonate with that brand identity, fucking, I'm glad I helped you do that.
Absolutely, yeah.
Regardless of whether it's my fucking brand or not.
Yeah.
And I'm comfortable with that.
Yeah, it's a mature view, hey. Like,
it weirds a lot of people out.
I bet you weren't always comfortable with that.
Nah. I was...
Because we've had difficult conversations.
We have.
Yeah.
We've had a few. And then until you sit down and explain it to me a couple of times with a few different things, it makes complete sense.
Yeah.
But
it's just having a bigger picture view. That's all it is.
You need to be open
to
having those conversations and having those hard conversations and people trying to provide outside info rather than you just being tunnel visioned.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you've got to think long term and broad.
Yeah.
So
I think of it this way: are you in business for 2 weeks or for 20 years?
Yeah.
Or if it's 20 years
or 200.
Yeah. Like,
is your
like offshore weather. If
Yeah.
you're going to watch the weather over the whole year, there's going to be calm days and rough days.
Yeah.
But you're going to be enjoying time on the water throughout that year overall.
Well, let's go coffee, let's go any of it.
Yep.
Righto. So anyone buys another brand, a competitor's brand.
Yep.
Which means the money goes back into the fishing industry.
Yeah, yep.
Coffee's a good one.
Yep.
It's just easy to explain.
Yep.
People keep spending money on coffee. The more people spend money on coffee,
Yep.
coffee price jacks up.
Yep.
Inflation. Then we all make more money. Like, in a perfect world.
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
I think of it like this. If someone buys, say for instance, a blackledge lure, right?
Yeah.
And they go and catch a GT, and there's another guy in the boat that sees that and froths on it, then he's going to go off on his own and research, go, GT lures, blah, 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 whatever, boom, boom, boom. He might find cast, he might find missing at sea, he might find fucking, what's something that Ebb Tide sells? Panda lures, he might find that. He might find Elite Tackles online store. And then he's going to make his own decisions. And do you know what that does? That creates a market where if you're not getting traction the way you want, you've got to change and you've got to elevate your game to attract customers.
You have to.
So competition actually drives improvement in your industry.
Improvement in your business, quality of product.
It forces you to make a move that actually elevates you.
Yeah, not be lazy.
That's it.
Yeah. Like there's heaps of value that don't have monetary, like a monetary value on
instantly,
it. Like,
that's right.
Yeah. There's like, I reckon the most valuable thing in life and business is fulfillment.
Yeah, I would agree with that. What do you mean by fulfillment though, personally? Or?
It has to be personal.
Yeah.
I think. I want to leave. I would like to leave a legacy. Like I would like Flow State to well outlast my name.
Oh, for
I want to get to the point where it scales to the point where no one even knows who the fuck it is. That runs it.
Yeah, who was I saying to this morning? I was on the phone to someone. It was Michael Wood. I was on the phone to him about this Stimmy Award thing that we won, and I was saying to him, like, guys like him and Flynn, the young guys, they're the next wave of what cast is.
Yeah.
As a business, I don't want to be the old dude with grey hairs and his chin on the camera anymore. Fuck, I don't want to be that guy. Like,
yeah,
I'm happy to connect with everyone and do my thing and that sort of thing, but I'm thinking about what's the next wave, what's the next 10 years of cast, and it's guys like that.
Yeah.
So for me, my personal fulfillment goes away from me being actively part of the brand to me sitting back and going, I've grown this thing to the point where no one cares if it's me or anyone else that's been part of it in the last 5 years.
They resonate with what cast is, not what Mick Guthrie is about.
Yeah, you got
100%.
it. Because I always say to people when they ask me, because when I have business meetings with our partners and stuff, it comes up a lot about the brand identity and stuff like that. I always say I want to have it always at a point where when people see those 4 little letters in that rectangle, they know it's quality, whether it's products, people, partnerships, anything. They just, when they see that logo, they go, yeah, that's going to be good, no matter what it is.
Yep.
And that comes from me initially, but it's how you build that culture and how you pass it on. Like, and in people like Flynn and Michael at that age, they're in their early 20s. That to me, if they're not running this company within a few years, I haven't done my job properly.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that's where removing your ego, removing ego from decisions and separating yourself from your brand is valuable.
Yeah, that's hard to do for a man though, hey?
It is, man.
I know for myself, like I'm, like growing up through competitive sport and all that, so I'm fucking ultra competitive.
Yeah.
Ultra competitive. And it's only been the last few years where I've had a few wins and losses personally and things like that where I've kind of like tapered that competitiveness off and replaced it with what's the word? I guess like big picture vision sort of thing.
Yeah, like motivation or something?
No, not anything to do with that. Just I've taken my competitive edge out of it and replaced it with more of a strategy rather than instant, I've got to win every battle. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in winning every battle. I'm interested in winning the war against what I want to achieve, not against anyone else in what I want to achieve. So, yeah, it's really interesting, man. Like, my life has changed so much in the last 5 years, personal development.
Mine in the last two or three.
Yeah.
As like, fucking, it pisses me off that you got to be that, like, I hit probably 25.
Yeah.
I'm 30 now, so I hit 25, and that's when shit started changing. I actually started, like, sitting back and, like, self-analysing and saying I don't like that part of myself. I'm going to make an effort to start changing it. Fucking pisses me off that it takes you it took me 25 to like realise that and slow down and actually start.
But you have to do all the dumb shit that you have to reflect on. For me it took like a combination of doing all the dumb shit and also having the free mental space away from kids. Because that takes up a lot of your thinking time.
Fuck yeah, it does.
The biggest thing for my own personal development was when I worked away in the mines. When my kids were young, I had 10 days away, just sitting in the mine camp. I would read, I would work out, I would work on cast actually back then. I was just starting to grow it then, or starting to start it then.
Editing the Chaunt series?
Yeah, but I had like, when dubstep was live.
Yes.
Fuck. I think my headphones are still recovering, from editing that. Fucking gross. But in saying that, it's those incremental steps of where, like talking about that Chaunt series, and I'll get back to what I was saying when I remember what I was saying. But those incremental steps of going, this is what I'm capable of now, and just slowly changing it. And getting better and better.
Yeah, you can't just flip a switch and change. One thing I've accepted, like within your personal, like we're talking personal development now, is like you've fucking cemented that shit since you, whatever that attribute is, for a fucking long time, and you've done it subconsciously. So now you have to consciously change it.
Big time.
Fucking hard.
Very hard.
You need to break it down to little tiny things, and like you'll keep fucking up, but you need to analyse. You need to be like, I actually don't like the fact that I said that, or I thought that of that person.
It's very hard. And I couldn't do that for a long time because I had so much going on in my head. It was working away that really helped me do that. And see, for me, like some people don't know my background. Like I'm the firstborn kid of teenage parents.
Yeah.
We had no money growing up at all. Like
Yeah.
my mum was 16 when she was pregnant. My dad was 18.
Yep.
They both dropped out of school. My dad just went to work immediately and put all his sporting aspirations away. He was a really good golfer. He wanted to go to uni to be like an aeronautical engineer.
Yep.
He ended up carrying bags at the railway and stayed there for 30 years or whatever it was.
Yep.
I basically lived with my grandparents for the first 4 years of my life.
Mm-hmm.
And then bounced around with my dad, like in caravans and bits and pieces like that. And so literally, we had fucking nothing growing up.
Yeah.
And I always look back on that, knowing now that's sort of why I don't really. I'm not a lavish kind of guy. Like I have very simple needs. Like I live a comfortable life now. I'm nearly 40. Like I've got 20 years of working behind me, but I've always been able to balance the wants versus needs into really just, this is what I need.
Yeah.
So, and that helps in business too, because if you can really lean down what you need and operate on fuck all, you can get ahead as well, you know, like there's a lot of that. So
That's where you're right. I was going to say one thing I found with Flow State at the moment, because we're actually pretty busy with film work and stuff, which is awesome. But I've noticed the money has to keep going back in.
For sure.
Sitting in a bank account,
it does nothing.
It looks fucking awesome, but it doesn't do anything to grow.
Right.
I reinvest in gear, I reinvest in time, and fucking like that. I feel if you don't that's that comfortable thing. Yeah, I think you get there and you're like, oh, fucking got all this money, and just leave it in there. To do what with? Exactly. What for what reason? Can't.
Yeah, me and Ben have that conversation actually fairly regularly. Yeah, we'd be like, how much money do you think we should have in the bank as like a float? Fucking nothing. Basically, have it all invested into whatever we're doing, you know, like have enough forward planning, cash flow and all that sort of stuff, but basically have it all. If there's something sitting in the bank not going towards something, then it's wasted money.
Turn that X amount of dollars, double down on it.
Yeah, well, that's what we did with America. Yeah. Like, that's a big cock on the block move, man.
Yeah.
Like, fuck.
Huge risk.
But that was at the point where, going back to the comfort thing, cast in Australia was kind of comfortable. Yeah. I was like, oh, this is comfy. I've got a full-time job here. This is epic. We're just doing our thing. And then all of a sudden it's like, take everything you've got and throw it all the way over there where you can't even travel to. Yeah. And trust people you don't know.
Huge risk.
Fuck it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
And then it gives you that edge to want to fucking keep pushing and pushing and pushing.
And I feel like unless you do real dumb shit and this goes for everyone, I feel like if you spend the time and stay the course and actually think and plan, forward plan properly, you will succeed.
Oh, for sure.
Unless you do something real fucking dumb or something atrociously bad happens to you or something. Like, I feel like you're 99.9% going to succeed. It's the people that drop off that never do.
Yeah, I think, I mean, you only ever hit what you aim for, really. But I just had a little out-of-body experience. Like, look at us talking like we know what we're doing.
Yeah, it's true, though. Like,
do you ever, when you were young, did you ever look at adults and think, fuck, you must have your life sorted?
Yeah.
And then you get to that, like, I'm 40 years old, still have my life sorted. And think, fuck, you guys had no clue.
Yeah, they had,
We're all just winging it.
I should put disclaimers out. This is just like stuff
this is personal experience.
Yeah, and this is just what I've worked out with myself. But
exactly.
if someone can pull, like, something that I've set out and even twist it to make it work for their lifestyle or whatever they're doing, and it helps, then fucking that's awesome.
Yeah, the number one thing I think is important is you've got to genuinely be, and I know it sounds like a corny fucking cliche, but you got to be passionate about what you are putting all your energy into, because you're going to have bad days, bad weeks, bad months, bad years. But there's got to be something to pull you or push you through that period, because that's when people that aren't passionate, that's me in construction. I got to that point where I was like, hang on a minute, I'm making millions of dollars for someone else. And I'm going to bed losing sleep about it. Like, I went to work one day and I remember the exact thing. It just popped into my head after I had this shit meeting with a guy. I thought, you know what? I would never invite that guy out for a coffee or around to my house to a barbecue. And I'm arguing with this bloke and losing sleep over someone else's money.
Yeah.
what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah.
And that's because I wasn't passionate anymore about construction.
Yeah.
Previously I was when I was on the come up.
Yeah.
But I took that and just realised, well, I'm not going to give my energy to this process anymore. I need to give it to something that I am passionate about.
Yep.
And I have way bigger problems in my own business than what I ever did trying to sort out someone else's. But I get up every morning with a fucking pep in the step, ready to go for it because I'm passionate about it.
100%.
Yeah.
What's your take on it? This is one of my things at the moment is like there's no such thing as try. Like I've never believed, I'm a little bit old school, like I never believed in like participation awards.
No, fuck no.
Second place and like fucking shit. I don't believe
the real world's not like that, man.
Nah.
Yeah.
I don't believe there's such a thing as try. Try is just there and it's measured by whether you succeed or not. Like even
you have
if you
to
don't
try to succeed.
It's just part of the
you
process.
you either succeed or you don't. Yeah.
The word trying or try,
Yeah.
I think, doesn't deserve acknowledgement.
Yeah.
To any level. Whether it's to try your hardest or try your least, it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. It's either you do it or you don't do it.
Yeah, that's it.
Or you win or you lose, or you fucking fail or you succeed.
You're doing it or you're not doing it.
The whole thing in between doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Makes no fucking difference.
Yeah, I agree. There's kind of like, I mean, there's obviously a conversation that you have like, oh yeah, I might give that a go, or I'll give it a go for a little while, but that's trying. But I think you get to the end game where it's like you tried for a bit and then you go, no, I didn't do it, or I did do it.
But even that's still irrelevant. Like you can dabble in or try in all those bits and pieces, but it's still irrelevant. Because if you did that and then you liked it and then you started doing it, that's the doing it.
That's
the doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
All
that's
that, that's I agree. Like, and it comes across like pretty, like fucking, no, like pats on the back for, like I tried my hardest. Like it doesn't matter. Cunt. No one cares.
That's right. Yeah, exactly.
No one gives a shit that you tried your hardest.
Yeah, you either did it or you didn't.
Yeah. What's that fucking Troy movie? That's
why no one will remember your name.
Yeah.
It's fucking funny. Now you're Brad Pitt.
Yeah, basically.
With a rude head.
Yes, the rudest head.
Fuck.
That's an hour.
Should we hit some questions?
We should hit some questions because we've got more to chat about yet.
Yeah, 100%. All right.
Give me that. Let me ask them. You answer.
Yeah, too easy.
Actually, let's pause. I need to go to the toilet.
All right, hit it.
We're back. Q&A.
Yep, couple of whiskeys and a few questions.
Quick hour, eh?
Was that an hour?
That was an hour, man. Yeah.
Yeah, sweet.
That was an hour of you talking the whole time.
I don't know about that,
Is it my turn yet?
I feel like that's not accurate at all. All right, let me find these questions. It's funny, like, I own a fishing brand and most people, like, no one gives a fuck about my fishing, which is kind of the way I like it, eh? I really like it like that.
Am I asking them or are you asking them?
Yeah.
Or are they generalised?
So there's a couple
They'd
there.
probably be for you, won't they?
Yeah. Oh, no, fucking you ask them, man, no problem. Go for it. There's a few there. Coupler.
Righto.
Couple of good ones.
I'll just go through them one by one.
Yeah, man, do your thing.
The hunt for bronze. What's your go-to species or fishing style to get you out of a slump or a dry spell? Not fucking fly fishing. Not fucking fly fishing. The dog.
It's funny because fly fishing is usually my slump or dry spell.
The fucking starving stick.
I don't know, probably to go bow hunting.
Yeah.
No, honestly, fuck. I actually haven't fished that much in the last sort of 18 months. Like, we had quite a few business things happen, and with the investment into America and stuff like that, I've been pretty much just working my ring out for that period of time.
Yeah.
But when I want to go fishing just to escape the world, I go fly fishing because that's what I fucking
It's not
love.
about catching, man.
Not at all, man.
It's not about catching.
Yeah.
Fishing shouldn't be about catching, I don't reckon.
I feel like, and I might be wrong, and I don't want to get down the rabbit hole, but there's probably 85% of anglers, especially on social platforms, that's what drives them to catch.
Yep.
Is to be able to put, photos and videos, which is cool. That's their own thing. But for me, that's not what I do it for.
Yeah.
Because I fished my whole life and I hardly took a photo of a fish I caught before I was 33 years old.
Yeah.
It's a necessary evil. Well, it's a necessary thing to promote your business. It is what it is. But I always have dry patches and humps in fishing because I do fish for myself. I don't fish for easy content or anything like that. I go fly fishing and try and do stuff that I want to do.
Yep.
So I don't care about dry patches or humps. That's what I'm getting at, really. Like, I fish for me.
Fish for the love of fishing.
I fish for me. Yeah. Like, I mean, in Bowen, for example, I took my boat up there and sat it for 3 months, hoping that I would get a chance to fish all these epic tusky flats.
Yeah.
I fished 4 days in 3 months. One was with you in your boat. Then I brought my boat up. It blew its ring off for fucking months.
Yeah, it's been a windy year.
I got three good days on the flats.
Yep.
Probably shots at 20 tuskies. One I would consider was going to eat the fly, and I fucking cooked it, sort of pulled the hook out of its mouth. But apart from that, I caught no fish in Bowen. I was there for 4 months, but I had a great time when I was there. I learnt a lot, saw some cool shit.
There's a heap of us mob up here too.
Yeah.
Like on the fucking road either side of you.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to catch up with a few people.
Definitely, yeah.
Which was sick.
Yeah, I need to move to North Queensland.
Fucking oath you do. There's a few about the trip you've just been on, so I'll leave them till the end. We'll talk about that as a whole
we can talk
another
about that
topic.
For sure.
And remind me, I want to tap into bow hunting before we fucking finish.
Yeah, sweet.
The skunk works. How do you get those little ships in those little bottles?
Fuck if I know.
Do they? I think they actually build the fucking things like from scratch with like sticks, like chopsticks
tweezers and shit. Yeah, they'd have to.
Yeah,
they'd have to.
That's a fucking brilliant question.
It is a good question. I've often wondered.
I'm going to chuck that in the back pocket for fucking icebreakers.
Should Google it, eh? After this, I'm going to Google it and find out. 100%.
That's a fucking brilliant question. Question of the night. Who are the Voltsy fly fishing? Who are some of the peeps you would most like to go for a fly fish with and where? I'll go first. What do you think?
Okay, go for it.
Shallow water expeditions?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Like Magnum?
Yeah.
In Florida, chasing 100 plus pound tarpon.
Yeah.
Because he looks like a bad motherfucker.
Is that for you?
Yeah, for me. That's me.
Yep. For me, I'll do in Australia and overseas, because I was lucky enough to go to Sudan overseas, which was like, I never even on my bucket list, but I fucking loved it, and it lit a fuse in me to go and do that somewhere else. Like, that was such an epic experience, and I met a handful of really, really good people that I still chat to them now. Like, we were just chatting the other day on the phone.
Yep.
Catch ups and stuff, and so something overseas I would really, really love to do is tarpon obviously on fly, but oh man, I really want to catch a giant redfish. I don't know what it is about those fucking fish.
Those little dudes up in the fucking oyster
in the
reeds,
reeds, up in the grass marshes. I really want to catch a big one, because I walked the flats and I saw it, and I saw a tailing fish. Like, I had one cast at a tailing fish, and just to have that opportunity to do that, like, I remember just soaking it up. Like, the smell's different, like, it feels different. It's different, and it's like that. They say travel is the best teacher. Yeah, I never travelled. So for me, it was just like this overload of sensory fucking, stimulation. And it just made me think, as I was walking off that flat, I kept looking back over my shoulder. I can still remember it now. Just looking back, thinking, I'm going to fucking come back and do that. Yeah. And to do that, I want to do that with my son. Yeah. I want to teach him to fly fish, and I want to do that with my son, because I didn't travel when I was young. Yep. I want to take one of those boys, or even my daughter maybe, my kids, to experience something that I never experienced as a kid. Yep. So that would be my overseas one, redfish definitely, but giant redfish. Yeah. And in Australia, I mean, there's heaps of people I would love to fish with, like in the community or whatever. Yeah, he's fuck. He's one of them arsey cunts, like fucking like, you cast it like 15 tuskies for like 4 hours in the morning, then give him one shot at a feeding fish and he grabs it and just the fucking thing eats it, eh?
That was a G up, man. That was literally,
what a fish though.
Fucking 100 meters. Yeah. 100 metres from giving me the rod.
Oh, do you know, interesting fact, I've caught more permit on fly than I have tuskies on fly.
That's fucking unhealthy.
How fucked is that?
That's unhealthy. I love those little blue fuckers.
Yeah, same. But I would love to fish with Voltsy, actually. He's always been pretty helpful and like complimentary, and I like his style, how he's low key. But I've never met him. I would like to fish with him, but I just, honestly, man, like, I meet new people all the time through this
Yep.
journey, but the people that are in cast, that have been in cast and are closest to my personal life, they're my genuine mates and close bonds and family. That's who I want to fish with, my close mates.
I like on the Dave Magnum thing.
Yeah.
I want to fish with him, like, because he's super fucking, that 120 Days film.
Yeah, that was epic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoever shot that, I fucking love.
Yeah.
Whoever can make a cinematic film in black and white.
Yeah.
That's like next level, man.
Yeah.
To keep it like.
Yeah.
But anyway, him, like, I just love how passionate he is about.
Yeah.
He's just obsessed with tarpon.
Yeah.
And he's like so passionate and caring about the fish
Yeah.
and his environment that he fishes in.
Yeah.
But he's also a bad motherfucker.
Oh, I love that line. Like, it
Yeah.
rings in my head all the time. No one owns the ocean, but you own the intellectual property that you've earned through your blood, sweat, and tears.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's so fucking true, man.
Man, I have I got a man crush on him.
I tell you, one person I would definitely love to fish with, and I had the opportunity to fish with him in Africa, but he didn't have his passport renewed in time. Jacko.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd love to fish with him actually, Captain Jack.
I rang him before that trip and we talked on WhatsApp for like fucking an hour. And like, I remember sitting there in this little beach, like at the little beach hut down at Clontarf near where I live. I was just on the water, I had a coffee, and I'm talking to Jacko Lucas on the phone. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, what
how
is this?
has this happened?
Yep.
And like, he just such a genuinely, he's another guy that you see the end result and everyone goes, oh, he's so lucky. Motherfucker, have you seen what that guy's done in his life?
Yeah.
The sacrifice he's made, like all the stuff that he has done.
Yeah, to get where he is,
man, fucking hats off. He's like probably, as far as like creating your own brand, he's probably one of my biggest inspirations, real talk.
I'd like to sit and talk to like Keith Rosinas as well.
Yeah.
Because he's someone who's made something, like something special and world class.
Yeah,
I'd like to talk
100%.
to him as well. Not just, I think like...
I'm a big person on first impressions though.
Same.
When he followed me on Instagram and I followed him back, and then I was following him already. He followed me, and I reached out. I sent him a message and said, "Hey mate, love your work. I'm a big fan. I really, really admire what you do." And I got like one word back. I was like, "Hey, he's probably busy." I'm not saying he's a dickhead or anything, but like, whereas the contrast between that guy and Jarko, fucking night and day in my first impressions. So while I respect the guy and what he's done, and he's a fucking badass dude, Jarko's my kind of guy.
I think it's the fish is irrelevant for me. Yeah. It's who I get to share the experience with. And I would like, if it was fishing with somebody, it would be at their spot because I want to know about like their vibe.
I wouldn't want to be guided by anyone.
Nah.
Because I like just walking off doing my own thing.
Yeah.
But I want to hear him say, strip, 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 strip.
Yes.
Behind that bomber is a fucking bus. I want to hear him say that shit, in real life. Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
That'd be like an out-of-body experience.
Man,
it's like,
I have...
That's him. That's actually him.
Like 3 weeks ago, we had the Springboks playing the All Blacks up here. And Australia were playing Argentina. And Quokka Smith, who I think follows Buster. I think that's how it all eventuated. And Buster put him in touch with me. And I ended up taking him for a fish on like a Thursday, or they were playing on a Saturday. Man, fucking tears. I was just in the boat just crying, man.
That's one thing I miss about the cricket dressing shed. Just fucking banter and ruthless.
Man, they were so fucking funny. They were so fucking funny.
It's kind of like our car trips in just me and Buster. Just
eat them bastards. I have never seen, like, I literally cooked, you know those big fuck off things of chicken breasts that you get from, they got like fucking 9 chicken breasts in there. Spice rubbed all those fucking things. Bought like 4 bags of like lettuce mix, leafy mix and shit. Muesli bars, like fucking $40 worth of fruit, like all this shit. Took it,
feed the fire.
Ate the lot by like 2 o'clock. Got home, I cooked 4 or 5 bags of nanny and trout. A bag of like 4 craytails, a big salad, a heap of chips, like cut up a heap of potatoes, made a heap of chips. Emptied me out, and I was like, I'm not stopping cooking until I break one of you motherfuckers, then you stay on full. Because I could not believe it. Like, and huge, big humans.
Big humans, man.
But like that sort of thing, like I could have been like, fuck, I'm not going to take, getting sidetracked, but I'm not going to take a day off work. I like, whatever, value my job more than that.
Of course.
But man, I have made, like those 3 blokes, I'm pretty confident we'll be lifelong friends. I was talking to one of them today. Invites 2 of them playing Japan
Yep.
all year.
Yep.
And one of them plays in the south of France.
Yep.
And obviously they're South African as well. I've got invites to go and live with them, like
Yeah,
stay with them
perfect.
and hang out, go fishing with them. Like, and there's no, you can't put a monetary value
Yeah,
on
that's
that.
the beauty of
That
shared passion.
one day off was worth
Yeah.
fucking 100 days straight at work. Like, man, it was unbelievable.
You're still gonna
Put your passcode back.
still gonna unfollow Buster now?
You need to just stop screaming silly shit on fucking Instagram. Man.
He just gave you 3 lifelong friends.
I know, he did. I do love the big cunt.
I love that bloke.
I do
Honestly.
too.
He gets a fucking bad rap, but that dude, man, once he's your mate, he's got your fucking back for life.
He is a fucking lad.
He's a good dude.
He
And
just-
he's all the boys and just fucking good bloke.
When he has those social media moments, I'm just like, can't stop that screaming. Christ, stop it.
But everyone's got their own thing. Eh?
Yeah, they do.
There's an audience for
They
every
do.
bit of content.
And he does.
and that's authentic, man. That's him.
I was about to say he hasn't changed for anyone.
Yeah.
Like he just does himself.
That's right.
And I respect that.
Yeah, definitely.
Still drives me fucking mad.
Yeah.
Love you, Benny. He don't even listen to this fucking podcast.
Of course he won't.
He won't listen to it.
Of course he won't.
Oh dear. Next. What's this one? Sunny days, fishing. Your most recent trip. So we'll talk about that after.
Yep.
Future goals, past goals trips.
Yep.
Togas and or barra on fly. I don't know what sort of.
So, well, future goals, I'll start with that. Like, I have a massive goal of catching big tusky on fly. That, like, consumes me, that shit. Like, whenever I have an opportunity of my own boat in my own zone, that's my fucking thing. I might even drop into a zone on the way home.
That zone we found
Yep.
is the zone, I reckon. Remember that we...
Which one?
The one where... The zone we fished where I caught that
Oh,
fish
yeah.
too. How big was that? We didn't measure it.
The fish?
The one I caught.
Fuck, high 60s.
Yeah. It was
a
fucking
proper one.
big tusky.
Yeah.
But there's like multiple of them and bigger
And
ones.
bigger, for sure, yeah. They're different. I was talking to Zane Templeman.
Yeah.
Fuck, he's one of the nicest humans you'll ever
He's
meet,
that,
man.
he's
I
that
bumped into him
below
at
the
boat
radar
ramp.
dude, eh?
He's a fucking weapon, man.
Yeah, he's that dude that goes up in the mangroves and shit.
Fuck,
just
if I
little
know.
bastards
I'm
and
not gonna
stuff.
blow him out, but
Yeah,
he
probably
does
should.
his thing. He just does his thing, and like
Blow the
honestly,
radar,
man,
blow.
that guy, I followed him for a while. Like I was always admired what he did and how he went about it. And then I met him at the boat ramp while I was up north there, and I was like, fucking know I'm on the right track, bumping into you on the boat ramp. You know what I mean? Both have fly lines, and I was like, yes, I'm fucking
Right tides,
I'm
bud.
on the right tides here. And we had a good chat, and he's just like, when I first went up there, he messaged me and said, you know, if you need a hand or whatever, you want to go fishing or whatever. And I just said, look, man, I really appreciate the offer, but I want to go and have a look myself. And I think he respected that because, and then he was just sort of a bit of an open book, you know, maybe go try this area, but no title information or anything, but just go have a look sort of thing. And I was chatting to him on the phone after I left from there. I just rang him on the way home, and we were sort of comparing a few notes from the days that we kind of fished similar together, but in different areas. And he was saying to me something that made a hell of a lot of sense to me in those highly pressured areas. He was saying that Tuskies have a funny, like, a really, like, high-level ability to make you feel like they don't know you're there.
Yeah, but
they know you're there.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's like, I know you're there, but I don't give a fuck about what you're doing. I'm just doing me. And then a fly line lands 2 meters from them and they go, yeah, fuck you. See you later.
Yeah.
You know, I knew you were there when you came down the flat fucking 40 meters ago, you know?
Yeah.
But you think that, you know, they're just feeding and shit. And and I thought, fuck, you know, that really makes sense in pressured areas because I've had that experience in the Keppels, in the Whit Sundays, but where I go and I've had like fucking 20 odd hookups, they're completely remote.
Yeah.
And they're completely away from any traffic and any fucking targeting that we know of.
Yep.
It's basically like they're a different animal when they're in a pressured area to where they're not.
Well, there's
The
spots-
trade-off is they're not pressured, but they're in gnarly fucking zones. That they're very difficult to land.
There's a zone near here that I've been to and I've seen heaps. And like literally you can't even lift your hand. You lift your hand up to go and cast, gone. Like and not just like move away. Like fucking proper tail belt and just zip gone.
Well, at these other zones, like I've had them eat at the rod tip. Like literally I've had like a 12-foot leader and I'm holding the leader in my strip hand and it's eaten at the rod tip.
Yeah. they're special, man. I prefer like, and I've had limited experience with permit, I'll be honest, but those fuckers, man, are just addictive.
Tuskies?
Yeah.
Oh, massively.
Yeah.
This trip that I just went on really fucking got me fired up on permit again.
Yeah. There's something special about them.
Yeah.
I need to do more.
I'll tell you about the two that I caught later, but
Righto.
yeah, fuck, man, that just got me fired up. But Tuskies, whole nother world.
Proper.
Yeah. So that's my future goal, sorry. Tusky and big GT on the flat.
Past goals trips, I don't know what context that is, but...
Maybe my favourite ones to make or something like that. There's been a couple.
GT goals is the fucking...
GT goals?
GT goals is my favourite.
Yeah, number 4. That was pretty cool, actually.
4 and 2. Is 2 the Tusky one?
2 is the Tusky one.
Yeah, those two are good.
Yeah, I reckon... 2 would be epic because like that was when I got to meet and fish with Shannon Kitchener.
Yeah.
That dude is like... I don't think he realises how much of an impact he's had on my life.
He's a special human, man.
He is, man. He really is. Like
I've only met him once and spent...
Oh, man. Honestly, like I've pulled into Kingscliff on the road every now and again, had chats with him, like just life chats. Yeah. He's just one of those guys, like, he's just
he makes you feel
guys.
good after. Like he like, I really enjoyed. What happened? Oh, he was coming through and he was going fishing with Clint. Yep. Clint and Isaac. I just drove up to Cardwell and just sat there, and I think we had dinner and a beer and just talked. I talked to both of them, and man, he is just a genuine great guy.
He really lit the fire for me for fly fishing because my very first trip was with him, and other people that were in my life at the time used to like to take credit for showing me shit with fly fishing, which is a complete load of shit. But Shannon sat on that boat with me for 2 days and basically showed me the ins and outs of beginning a fly fishing journey. Mm-hmm. Like he really set the standard for me in terms of how to go about it, what to do, what to look for, how to cast, how to present flies. Just gave me a real crash course, and he was so open and giving with his knowledge. Mm-hmm. It's priceless, man. A guy like that in your life is priceless for fishing, much less life. Yep. Like he's just one of those guys who, 10 years older than me. He's been through what I'm about to go through. Like he has had a massive impact on my life. So that one was probably my favourite just because of Shannon. But then the other ones that stand out, I mean, the GT one was just a natural closure of the first season of Goals because that's what Goals started on, us chasing GTs. Yeah. So that was a cool story.
That goes way back, man. Like
way back.
Like Brizzy
nighttime bangers, all that shit people forget.
That drone eat at the back of the fucking Top Water Division film. That film. Yeah. That is from Goal, like way back, bud.
Yeah, man, way back.
That's what I remembered it. Like I was like,
that's
fuck,
like
man.
2015,
and it was a sick eat too.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, we've been at this for a long time. But my other two favourite ones probably the Murray Cod one with the Granite Gorilla Boys because we just stuck it out for 5 days. And it finally came together. That funny story with that one, man.
You were in your clutch moment shit. You were bad for it.
We busted our ass, man. And it was freezing. We got a handful of fish. The goal was a meter fish during the day on a swim bait. Yeah. And we were literally talking about what we're going to do with this footage on the way back to the boat ramp. Mm-hmm. And we were talking about this other spot, and they're going, "Oh, what do you reckon? Fucking blah 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 blah." And I just in the film, Luke says he said it for the story, but we're driving back. I'm like, "Oh, we use this for apparel," and I'll come back and blah blah blah. And then he goes, "Oh, we could go try this one." And I said, "Well, what if we get one? That'd be fucking epic, man. What if we get one?" Yeah, fuck it, let's go. Yeah. Second cast.
Got one.
102.
Fucking hell.
What? That was epic.
I would have loved to have been there and seen the vibe. Like, that would have been high.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And then being part of Vic's first Barra as well.
Yeah, that was cool, man. I was part of that. That was fucking
crew,
sick.
Good story. I've been talking to her for ages about her first Barra. Knew what it meant to her to have that on film. Was
so many Barras.
Man.
So many Barras.
Epic.
Fucking hell.
They'd be my favourites.
Togas and or Barra on fly.
Never caught a Barra on fly. Caught Toga.
Yep. Fuck. Yep. No, you go first.
Yep, caught Toga on fly. Actually, that was with Jed, my son, which was cool. There's two moments in my life where the whole world went blank, and all I can hear is him saying, "Yes, Dad." One is when I hooked the toga, and the other one when I shot my first pig with the bow.
Yeah,
he was right beside me both times.
That's fucking special.
Yeah.
That's proper special. Yeah. Fucking Tyson.
I actually just got BWC to roll me up some flies for toga.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm on the hunt.
That's fucking good. I watched Tyson dredge up fucking barrels on Game Changers,
Oh yeah.
like
Yep.
at Weeper.
Yeah, yeah.
And I got I sight casted, would have been 800, 900 thready on fly.
That's
was
sick.
literally.
I would love a thready on
I
fly.
wish we fucking landed it, to be honest, just so I had the photo for
Yeah, yeah.
memories. But
Yep.
like literally, we were just drifting this bank, and it was like gin clear, and we casted a few smaller barra and fucked around.
Yeah.
And I had one of Ant Fly's Clousers on.
Yeah.
He makes these. Get around him. He's called Ant Flies on
Yep.
Instagram. He's got these Clousers that are like these makes these real white ones, but they're really like the hook's small, but they're really long.
Yeah, okay.
And they fucking look like a bait fish.
Really?
Like ridiculously.
Yep.
They swim so good.
I have to get on him.
Yeah.
Local guy?
I don't know where he is.
Like Australia?
Yeah, he's Australian,
sick.
yeah. And
Yep.
he like literally sent me all these fucking moon crab patterns and everything for nothing.
There's so many good fly ties in Australia, man.
Ridiculous.
Like Saltwater Flies Australia, he's always been epic
Yeah.
to me. Like he sorted
Ranger
me out
man.
for Sudan straight away.
Yep.
Ranger delivered me flies at fucking the Proserpine BP.
Yeah.
Like between Bowen
Yep.
and fucking Early Beach.
Yep, Ranger Flies. Scotty's been,
yeah.
like Saltwater Fly Australia, he's been
Epic.
so good to me.
Brett from BWC has also been awesome to me.
Yeah.
It's always just like good customer service and
Mm-hmm.
epic quality stuff. Like I used to tie my own and have a go at it.
Yeah.
But one time, two, I like to support Australian shit
Yeah.
wherever possible, and they're really good people.
And they're
who do
good
great
quality
work.
flies.
Yeah.
And flies are pretty inexpensive
Yeah.
in the grand scheme of it.
Yeah. Well, you
Fucking-
think about how long it takes to get a good shot in fly.
Yeah.
Like,
You have
it's
one
not
fly
like-
for one fish and you're done.
Yeah, and it's
pretty
not
much.
like pitching soft plastics or fucking
Nah.
chucking a swim bait or what. You know, it's nothing to do with that. Like you might
Yeah.
have a shot and completely fuck the cast.
Yeah.
So you line up all these things and then make the perfect presentation.
Yeah.
You want the very best fly you can, whether
Yeah.
you tied it or someone else.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, this 30, right, was like we were drifting on this bank, casting, just blind casting up on a mangroves with fly and stuff, because it was just too cloudy to chase permit and it was windy and fucked.
Yep.
And Tyson had his line in the water and was stripping it, and I was
Yeah.
watching this threadfin, man, in like 6 inches. It was making a wake,
Yeah.
like ripples.
Yep.
I could see it clean as day.
Like that creek up at Dundee.
Yeah, that gin clear, man. It was so
Yeah.
clear. And it was just working along the bank. And then I thought Tyson was casting it, and I was like, you see that thready? He was like, nah. I was like, do you mind if I cast at it? Cast at it. It was, man, I fucking played like, it was ridiculous. Literally like landed
Shit like that burns in your head.
Oh,
eh?
I can remember it like everything that I did.
Yeah.
Stripped it, and it just turned, had its feelers out like following the fly
Yeah, right.
at the water surface.
Yeah.
All the way back.
Yeah.
And was watching it, and Tyson was like, just stop it.
Yeah.
And I stopped it, and as it sunk, it just went,
That's
ate
awesome.
it and turned, had it on,
Yeah, good.
and then we didn't decide to net it. Tyson was going to lead it and just
Yeah.
pull it in, because I leaded his in.
So
Tyson
he
got
fucked
one.
it for you, basically.
He grabbed the leader and it
Full
shook.
sabotage.
Yeah, grabbed the leader and it
What a dog.
pulled hook. But like, probably would have landed it if we had the net, but Tyson got one exactly the same.
Yep.
It was fucking ridiculous.
So good, eh?
Man. And
Threading on fly would be a cool
yeah,
thing to do.
I got a fucking donkey tarpon, like Australian-sized tarpon,
Yeah.
like a fucking one like that. Like,
Actually, I just saw on Instagram tonight, Ryan, Until the Sunset's got one like that.
yeah, fucking...
Yeah, looks sick.
Man, they were eating jelly prawns, and that Clouser again.
Yeah.
I've got one left, and I got rubbed through on a fucking decent barra on one.
Yep.
On fly.
Yep.
And I've got one left, and I hooked this tarpon on it. Had it on for a fair bit, and
Yeah.
then jumped because they
Yeah,
got real
yeah.
hard mouths.
Yeah.
But that Weeper trip was wild. We never got any permit. Saw a bazillion.
Yep.
You'd like cry when I show you this drone footage.
Yeah.
Of like permit like mooching around, and then all of them just going like whoop mooning.
Oh, yeah.
It was
Yeah.
so sick.
I
But
just
yeah,
came back from 3 days of that.
you did too. You would have. I
It's
can
fucking
imagine.
epic,
You
eh?
dog. Yeah, I don't know where we were going with that question anyway.
I think it was like toga on fly and shit.
Yeah,
But yeah,
that's
no,
on my
I'm
list.
keen-
Toga
I'm
on
keen
flies on my
as-
list.
It's just hard, man, unless you're in like a stand-up paddleboard or something.
Yeah.
Where I got the one that I got was like the perfect scenario. We
Yeah.
literally walked into an open stretch of the river, and this fucking toga just came within range.
Yeah.
And just strip. It literally followed the fly the entire way to the bank. I
Yeah.
stopped it 6 inches from the bank.
And it ate.
And it ate. And I strip set it and pulled it out of the water.
That's
with the
awesome.
set.
Fuck
So
yes.
it wasn't much of a fight, but it was the best eat ever. It was so cool, man.
Holy.
Sam Gibson and Jake were there as well.
Yeah.
It was just like, oh, holy fuck, it actually happened. Yeah, it was cool, man.
Fucking they're on my list.
Yeah.
Um,
Cool fish.
Liam John. What is the pinnacle of fishing for you? Like your wildest dream fishing wise?
Pinnacle of fishing. There's so much I want to do. There's really so much I want to do. I think the pinnacle for me would be big peacock bass in the Amazon on surface flies. That I know that's like the dream fishing scenario for me. Like I had wanted to catch a peacock bass ever since I saw one in a magazine when I was a kid. And I got one, but it was out of a golf course in Florida. But it was on fly. But I would love to catch a big wild one.
Yeah.
That would be it. Or golden dorado.
That's me.
Yeah.
Dorado's me, man.
Yeah.
Like the skinny water ones, those big fuckers that are up in the middle of the mountains.
Yeah, that would be fucking epic.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, no. Fuck. Nile perch in Cameroon.
Yeah, at night
With
time.
Brent. Oh, my God, man. Some of the stories he was telling me, I was just mesmerised, man.
I think as many fish as I possibly can catch on fly before I die.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at the moment. Like, whenever anyone says, oh, do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? And I always personally think about, can I take my fly rod and can I catch a new species? Because, like, fly fishing for me, it's not a snobbery thing, or it's a challenge. Like, I fucking love doing hard shit in my life.
Yeah.
Because it stretches me. And I've caught a fuck ton of species now on fly. I feel like I'm competent, but I feel like I'm shit at it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's so
Compared
humbling.
to, when you watch those people like Jacko and that, fucking turning lines over in howling wind, and they got loops that are that tight they nearly tangle on themselves. Man, that fucking next level. I tell you what, I attribute a lot of my good fly fishing to is fucking Tyson.
Yeah.
Tyson taught me so much, man. It's like just little things that he would watch me cast and be like, why don't you try this? And then would fix one thing, and then over the course of like 3 or 4 trips, and then he did one thing, adjusted one thing on me in Weeper. And I can shoot 100 foot of fly line like a piece of piss now.
That's awesome.
Like, it's fucking ridiculous. And all he got me to do, I just had a little bit too much wrist, and I wasn't hauling hard enough on the forward haul. And he made me stick the butt of my rod in my sleeve and my shirt.
And use your elbow.
And then haul more, like haul harder. And I'm just shooting mine like a fucking demon now.
It's good.
Which is wicked, which is obviously going to help me cast in the wind and stuff like that.
Definitely.
So I attribute a lot of that to him.
Yeah, it's awesome. That's the good thing about our little community, Like, we fucking push each other.
Yeah.
We're not afraid to take advice from each other, and it's great.
Tyson and I are really good at that. Like, we have some... Tyson and I have some really, like, solid conversations. And we're both, like, super honest with each other what we think of things.
He's a good man.
Yeah.
Like, I remember when he was going through some down times in his life. I rang him up and said, righto, man, we're filming your home turf. He's like, I don't know, man. Fucking I'll book the flights, cunt. We're on. So get up there, like, get out of your fucking bad mood. Let's go. And, like, I just feel like our little group of friends, man, like, we've pulled each other through a lot of shit, and you need that.
And Triggy's another one, like, another close friend of mine. Like, I might not talk to Triggy for a fucking fortnight. Like, he normally rings me once a week. We normally have a catch-up once a week. And it's normally him that rings me, and I'm honestly...
like that,
I'm bad for not keeping in contact with people.
Busy,
I'm terrible at it.
Yeah, I know.
So, fuck off. I'd like a little mini camera on you to see how many times you actually screen my tools.
I'm like, fuck Wade, he's off me. And then I get competitive. I'm like, fuck him, I'm off him too.
Oh, fucking hell. But yeah, Triggy's another one, like, Triggy's another one, man. Like, he's another really close friend of mine that fucking he's just no bullshit. And he's just super accepting of, like, we don't talk for ages, and we just pick up where we left off, and there's no drama, there's no bullshit.
I like how he lives his life, man.
He
does what he wants. Protects his family.
He's a fucking... He's the man. He is the man.
He is the man.
He is the man. He is, like, if you look up...
I've never met a man that smells so good either.
Man, and piercing eyes. He's fucking... He does always smells good, even when he stinks.
I feel like my pants loosen a little bit when he talks to me. Like, automatically. I don't even touch them.
Get wet up. If you think, like, if you look up Australian man in the dictionary, there's like a photo of Triggy.
He's fucking stupid strong too.
Yeah.
Like, you should hit, like, all the weights that he's pushing. Like, you hear what he pushes, and then you look at him. Like, he's got, like, fucking ridiculous farmer strength.
Yeah.
He's like this weird myth. He really is.
I believe that.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Where was I? I just lost me fucking... Oh, Scale Extreme did the thumbs up emoji.
I see that. Cool, man.
Back at you, dude.
He's a fucking good dude, though.
Yeah.
Really good. He's a fucking weapon barra fisher.
Yeah, I do follow him, and I haven't
Yeah, Foxy.
proper sussed his stuff.
Good fella. Really good fella, actually. I admire him. Fuck yeah. He's really good.
I'll have to give him a sniff.
Yeah, definitely.
Fucking
Real low-key dude, man. Just does his thing.
I like those kind of people.
Fucking oath.
bow hunting, which I'll talk about a
Yep.
bit later. That's from Big Stevo. Angus Clancy, what gives you guys the motivation to grind and work hard every day? You go first.
I don't think anything gives you the motivation. Like, for me personally, it's just something that I've committed to this path of trying to extract everything out of this lifestyle and opportunity that I want to get the most out of myself. So no matter what path I'm on, that's my motivation, whether it's business or anything. Like, I've always wanted to get the most out of myself. Like, there's one moment in my life that made me realise you have to take opportunities. And that was when I moved to Brisbane to play cricket, and I had aspirations of playing professionally.
Yep.
So I came down, I played at Sandgate Redcliffe, made it up to second grade at I think I was 19 or maybe just turned 20, and sort of in the mix for first grade, and I had an opportunity to go on an exchange program to England to play in county cricket.
Yep.
And I remember saying, I asked my girlfriend at the time, and she wasn't that keen. So I thought to myself, I'll just say no and I'll go next year. Well, next year never came.
Yeah.
And I'd stopped playing cricket by then. So all my aspirations of playing professionally and following the same path that my friends took, guys like Nathan Reardon and all those guys that I grew up playing with, I watched their careers and then thought to myself, I could have had that.
Yeah.
But I didn't take that opportunity. So now everything that I did since then, whether it was my career, I was the youngest person on site running a landfill operation before I even graduated as an operations engineer. Then I graduated. I wrote a textbook chapter in a research project on phytoremediation when I was in my fourth year at uni, which actually got published in a global fucking environmental engineering textbook. I've done basically everything I've done as kind of the youngest person in the room, if you know what I mean, because I've grabbed the opportunity and just fucking dived into it.
Yep.
So my motivation is I watched an opportunity that was a big moment in my life pass me by because I didn't grab it.
Yep.
So that's all I do now is just grab opportunities and squeeze the fuck out of them.
That's good. Righto, I'll go. Mine would be... basically, I don't want to die wondering.
Yeah.
I've always been big on living. I've always just milked the most out of just life in general, recreationally.
Yep.
But I had my dad died 2 years ago.
Yeah, a couple of years ago.
I think. Yeah. That hit me real hard because he was my best friend.
Yeah.
Pretty much. So that hit me really hard, and he died to make me see it all, acknowledge it all. He was always had the opportunity to do this, didn't do it.
Yep.
Had the opportunity to do this, didn't do it. Should have done this, could have, would have.
Yep.
He died, and he wasn't even 60 yet.
Yeah.
So he died not being able to do everything that he wanted to do, or even have a crack at it. And I was like, fuck that shit.
Yeah.
And I was already just started down this road that I'm on now with Flow State, with Hustle and Grind.
Yeah.
And
because he was going to pour our first prototype plastics.
Yeah. Yep.
Fuck.
Yeah, he was going to run that up.
Crazy.
Yeah. So, that gave me a proper, I was like, no, fuck this. I'm after it proper.
Yep.
And I went through some fucking dark shit, man.
Yeah, I remember that.
Real heavy shit. Because I don't have anyone now in my life that fully gets me.
Yeah,
people get aspects of me, who I am, but no one truly gets me. And there's stuff that he's taken to his grave that only he knows about me that nobody else ever will.
Same with my granddad.
Yeah, it's fucking, so that was one big kicker. And pre that, I got to 25-ish, with this predates this stuff obviously, got to 25-ish, and I started feeling out of place and uncomfortable around the people that I'm with, and it wasn't any fault of theirs. They were fine, but and they're still friends of mine. Yeah, but I just felt out of place and a little bit sort of try hardy, I guess.
Yeah,
fit
like
in.
a square peg in a round hole.
Yeah. So so I had this time where I sat back and I was like, I'm going to try and self-reflect.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's when I started listening to Joe Rogan's podcast.
Yeah.
And he got me down the rabbit hole of like thinking about all that sort of shit because of how he speaks. And I was like, that dude's actually thought deeply about that
Yeah.
thing that he's talking about.
Yeah.
So then I started doing it, and he did, I can't remember who it was with. He did a podcast, it might have been with Lex Friedman, you know, the AI dude.
Yeah.
And it was about analysing your own brain as if you had two.
Yeah,
so you've got
yeah.
your conscious brain, and then you've got another brain, and that brain analyses
The
that.
other one.
Yeah, sort of thing. So I started like
objectively analyses it.
yeah. So I started doing that.
Yep.
And I was like, fuck, man, like I got a lot of work to do to be the man I want to be.
Yep.
And to try, I made this goal of just trying to be better every day in an aspect of anything, like just trying to be a better human being.
Yeah.
Because I have, and still do, but not as bad, as a really short fuse.
Yeah.
Like
Bull shark.
Yeah. And like I was like when I was younger, I was always angry.
Yep.
Bite first, ask questions later.
Yeah.
And it was unhealthy.
Yeah.
And I used to like I do not like who I was as a young teens, early 20s, as a human being. I would, if I could take that back, I would 100% take that back.
I think most people would, to be honest. Yeah.
I was a
'cause you just
fuckhead.
grow.
Just to talk shit
and
just
obnoxious, I could picture.
act like just pretend.
Yeah.
It's like fake. And now I'm like so against fake.
Yeah.
So that was a fucking long-winded answer, but basically I want to get to the point where I'm on my deathbed, metaphorically deathbed, and I want to be able to plug in a hard drive and listen to these podcasts. About talk to all the people I've spoken to over the years, look at all the films and the photos and all that sort of shit. And die knowing I had a crack. And I did. I milked every minute out of every second of every day that I possibly could. And I worked hard to be a better person every day. So if I have kids, I want them to be better than me. And then continue.
It's interesting how you say that because I'm listening to an audiobook by Jordan Peterson at the moment. 12 Rules for Life.
Yep.
I don't know if you've heard of it.
I know him. I haven't read that.
That's a fucking phenomenal book. And he said there's a chapter in there that says one of the rules for life is treat yourself like basically like treating yourself like you would treat someone else. Like you know how you're really hard on yourself and you deny yourself opportunities and you deny yourself things that you like to do. But if someone came to you and said, "Oh, what if I did this?" Yeah, man, if that makes you happy, go for it. Do it. I support you. But you don't support yourself in that shit. And like you're saying, like not dying wondering, like that's in you to have a fucking crack.
And money is
give yourself that.
Money is the bottom tier motivating factor for me.
I feel like money comes when you're good at shit.
Money is a byproduct of happiness and passion. I want it to be anyway. I want to create financial freedom for myself so I don't have to worry about the fucking shit anymore. So I can pay my bills and have money to live.
You're lucky that you're seeing this sort of thing for yourself at this age, man.
I attribute that to the people I've hung around too. Like you've definitely fast-tracked me with business and life, I think, because you're ahead of me in the game and you've passed stuff back, like obviously like mistakes you've made or shit that's pulled you up or like but you've never forced an opinion on me. You've always just gave me context to something and then allowed me to make my own decisions, which I think
that's what friends do.
I think so.
You're good friends, true friends. I think that's what you do because like who is one man to tell another man what to do?
Because it's all subjective, man. It's all subjective. I just think be a good cunt.
That's it. I only talk to people that are receptive. And I only talk to people who I can be receptive with. You don't have to be friends with everyone. Everyone doesn't have to have certain access to shit in your life. But the ones that do have it, give it all to them.
I tell you what else though, people need to accept the fact that people don't like them, or you don't like somebody. So me and you might not get along, right? But there's no need for hostility.
Not at all.
You don't like me. I don't like you.
Just keep it moving.
Leave it at a mutual respect.
Just
level.
Yep.
Catcher.
Oh, there's so many people on social media like that for me.
Like
do your thing, man. But you're not my guy.
And that's but people can't handle that sometimes. They get like,
Yeah, I think everyone just gets caught up in fucking needing to be liked by everyone. I got caught up in that. Like I spent probably 10, 12 years of my life fucking wasting energy on worrying about what people thought. I really did. Like, and it's only just come clear to me in like the last 4 years. And now I'm just like,
yeah,
whatever, eh?
I'm definitely blessed. Like, I feel like I'm ahead of the game, but also not. But I feel like I'm ahead of the game, like mentally. Like, I
For
feel
your
like
age, probably you are.
Yeah,
It's also who you hang around. You hang around some pretty motivated people.
I do, and I like pressure. I really like it, and I can deal with it. I have breakdowns and stuff every now and then, but it's never anything bad. I've never quit. I've never done anything stupid. I can always like deal with it.
I remember an old boss of mine actually in construction in a review. He always said to me, he goes, "You have an uncommon ability for high workload." And stress management, and like if you can operate under pressure and stress and stuff like that, then that's something that you can do, and it's because like you want a challenge and you want to always be uncomfortable. Like it's cliche, but when they say if you're comfortable being uncomfortable, that's when you get the most out of your life.
100%. That goes back on what we were saying earlier.
Definitely.
I'm big on reflection at a world scale. So I go, fuck man, this is real fucking hard, and I go like, I put myself in this position. This is my doing. Now you need to finish it. And also, right now, there's some dude working a dead-end job who's unhappy as fuck, who's struggling to feed his family. Or his kids might go without a meal tonight. Or he doesn't have a fucking house. Or he doesn't have anywhere to live.
100%.
Or he's dying of cancer. He's got 2 months to live. Who the fuck am I to whinge about my minor shortcomings? Like, I had a great upbringing. I can't whinge about my family. We never had much, but we had enough. I never went without. Had a loving mother, loving father, and like I went through like my younger years and still turned out to be a fucking dickhead in my teens. I don't understand how that works, but like, I did.
Oh, like, at least you own it.
But yeah,
I'm still a dickhead sometimes.
Yeah, I think everyone is.
It's funny though, like actually on the trip that I was on, Rory was saying. It was someone was talking something. There was this old guy, man. Fuck, you would love this guy. Old, rough, rugged dude. And just doesn't say much. Fucking been bow hunting for like 15 years. Fucking shot brumbies and all sorts of shit with his bow. And like he was listening to these guys sort of having a little bit of a whinge, and he sat back, and I was just thinking to myself, fuck, you look like my granddad when he's about to say something. And he goes, "Is there ever any thought for just being grateful for what you've got? Like." Look at where we are, like I thought, you're fucking right, mate.
I'm about that.
And Rory said to me, and I had the best conversations with that guy over the next 3 days. Like, I couldn't wait to get back to the mothership to talk to this dude. But I remember Rory saying, you know what, man, like my dad used to say to me, like, you're born in Australia, you've won the fucking lottery, mate.
Basically. You think of how many countries there are in the world?
Man.
And you think how many of them are fucked?
I've only been to Sudan. That's really crazy. But I went through the markets in Port Sudan, and it's hellishly poverty. And I looked at it and I thought to myself, we are fucking lucky, man. We are in the world's 0.2% of the fucking luckiest humans in history. Stop whinging.
100%. When you compare it, as I think people need that perspective every now and then.
We have nothing to fucking whinge about.
No, we don't.
Man, not at all. And we're all guilty of it because you become a product of your environment.
And handle
that's
your
your
shit.
base standard.
Handle your shit.
That's why I like going into the bush or going offshore and shit and just living a bit rough. Because you come home and you appreciate a hot shower and a nice mood, meal, food, all that stuff,
But handle your shit. You obviously made decisions over the course of your life. They might have been decisions 10, 20 years ago that have put you in the position you're in now. You need to fucking man up and wear that shit.
That's it,
and it's not about masculinity or anything. It's like, fucking handle your shit.
And you don't have to handle it publicly. There's none of anybody's
And you don't have to
business.
handle it by yourself either.
It
doesn't matter how you handle it, just fucking handle it. And like, there's all this big stuff on like male depression and everything. Like, talk to people.
For sure.
No one gives a fuck, man, how upset you are. I've had close friends lately that have had like some proper dramas and rung me crying, and I have not thought any less of them.
Of course not. That's
like,
just friendship, man. 100%.
Where was I? Not that one. That answered that question, I think, pretty well, broadly. Nordics, man. Nordics, Ocean Blend.
Yep.
Actually, no, that's just Flynn being a fuckhead. Maybe have a chat about how rude Wade's head is. I know how rude it is, you little fuck.
The fucking rudest.
Yeah. That's hard living. Hard living.
Territory living.
Yes. Fucking. That's probably why I'm bald. That fucking joint. Holy.
Oh, too many raft ups, eh?
Oh. Fuck, man.
That's
You
a
haven't.
fucking wild place.
I
I've
can
always
hold
had a
it.
good time when I've gone
Yeah.
there, but fucking couldn't live
You
there.
get home and you're like,
could not live there.
holy fuck. Need a
I
detox
got
from
home
everything.
and just like, whew, thank fuck that's over.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was that other one?
Skinny-legged
Nordics.
dog.
Oh, Nordics is just like, for anyone that doesn't know that we own, so Cast owns half of a company called Ocean Blend. And Ocean Blend is an outdoor supplement company. So we basically provide fuel for your adventure on the water. So it's hydration, energy, endurance. It's all like no sugar, clean energy, like long burn energy. So you don't get the, the
Caffeine
high
spike.
spike and then a big crash. It uses ingredients that have a long half-life, so it just elevates your energy levels. The hydration part of it, there's ingredients in there that actually open up your body's cells to receive hydration. It's not this magic drink that you just drink one of and you're good for the whole day. It opens your body to receive water. So you still need to drink all your water, but it just makes it more effective at soaking water into your cells.
Yep.
It tastes fucking great and it's cheap. Like if you go to the servo and you buy fucking a Red Bull, a Gatorade and a bottle of water for $15, you'll get all that in one scoop.
Plus,
$3.
minus all the sugar and filth.
Exactly, minus the rubbish. And it's Australian owned, Australian made. Nordics is very similar to Hydrate, so if you're a fan of Hydrate, it's just a very small tweak. The reason we changed it is because we're going to make Hydrate a non-stim product, so non-caffeinated and just a hydration and endurance formula. And Nordics is now, it won't be available in tubs, it's going to be one-serve sachets.
So is Nordics what Ocean Blend is now? Is
Ocean
Nordics
Blend
going to
is
be
the
what?
company. Nordics is pretty much what Hydrate is
Yeah.
now, just a minor tweak.
Yeah, okay.
But it's in sachets instead of a tub. So if you're the kind of person who doesn't drink it every day, or every couple of days, like we're always going adventuring and whatever, so we churn through it. But if you're the kind of guy who will have a tub in the boat for 3 months, it may
gonna go
cake
hard
up or
and,
get water or whatever. So you get the sachets and then you only use one at a time.
Yeah.
And
I use it
better
to
for
train.
everyone. It's fucking good.
I use
shit,
it to train, man. I fucking massive.
I'm not
fan.
joking when I said like it took us 18 months to settle on the formula.
The dude that's, we won't say it, the company
Yeah.
that's designing
Yeah.
the formulas
Yeah.
is fucking legit.
Yeah, man.
Like the most
Oh,
legit.
you talk about passion for something.
Oh.
He's balls deep, man. Properly balls deep.
Proper.
But I mean, we first took that. I talk about that Saratoga on Fly.
Mm-hmm.
I remember doing a storyline, mixing it up at my granddad's house.
Yeah.
That was fucking 2 years ago, at least 2 years ago. We took it to Florida when Benny caught his tarpon.
Yeah.
That's when we were trialing all the different formulas for felt effects and stuff like that. So I'm super proud of that company, man.
Yeah.
Super proud of it.
It's fucking good gear.
It is.
Let's go. Might have to get you stopped on that. I can hear that.
Oh, sorry, man.
That's all good.
My bad.
I was like, I was reading the questions. I was like, what the fuck's that noise? And it's the legs of the fucking mic. Let's go bar hunting first.
Yep.
Because it's reasonably like new to you, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like you've always.
Yeah, I've always had an interest in it,
Yeah.
for sure. So I grew up in central Queensland. So, my cousins were always hunting pigs and all that sort of shit, but obviously with dogs and knives and bits and pieces like that. I mean, I did archery at high school in the 90s, and I really, really enjoyed it a lot. Like I was always like, playing pool and cricket and golf and all fine motor skills. I really enjoy that shit. So I enjoyed archery, and then I can't remember where I first saw it. I think one of the guys maybe that I went to high school with might have got into it, and I might have maybe seen something in the local paper or something or other, and it sort of sparked my interest. So I've probably been looking at doing it for since I lived in central Queensland, so through high school basically.
Yep.
Then I obviously moved to Brisbane, city life, playing cricket and all that sort of shit, and then just got back into fishing down there. And I kind of went away from even having an inkling for it. But then as I got into fly fishing, which is also something I'd eyed off for ages, I kind of went down that path of fly fishing where I was like, okay, I really, really enjoy this. It's difficult. It's got, goals associated with it, and I like doing it by myself. and then just a natural progression to find other things that really interest me.
Yep.
Getting back to that point where I got to my life where I just don't care what anyone else is doing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to do what I like to do.
Yep.
And bow hunting is something that I've always had an interest in because it's difficult.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great way to connect with nature, and it's something that, in order to be good at, you have to practice.
Yep.
You have to be dedicated to it and consistent.
Yeah.
So, what really accelerated my leap into it was obviously Nick from Ozcut and Nexus. He's one of our business partners in Ocean Blend. It was actually his idea, that company. He approached us about it and we discussed it all and got it off the ground. But through my relationship with him, it kind of gave me the opportunity to, I suppose, take a few shortcuts in understanding some of the fundamentals and getting access to gear and stuff like that. So that was a bit of a blessing. And I actually, I bought one of Adam Greentree's secondhand bows.
Yep.
And so I just had to get it all modified and tuned up for myself. And then one of my mates, I haven't hung out with him for a long time. He's had a baby now. I haven't bumped into him for ages. But Frankie Gilligan, he put me in touch with
The Mad Horseman.
Yeah, he's a fucking weapon. I really need to fucking go and fish with him because he's invited me that many times out on North Pine Dam. I just haven't had the time, and I feel really bad about it. But he put me in touch with a guy called Scott Bryce, who's on the Australian compound archery team. Top bloke, mate, like proper top bloke. He just goes, yeah, mate, come round, we'll trick it up and we'll give you a few shooting lessons. So he really got me on the right path, and then I just went out and practiced. And then once I felt competent, I just went walking in the bush.
Yeah.
Like wherever I could get access. I've got a few blocks through like Nathan Reardon and a couple of other guys that I've got access to blocks through, and just started.
Yep.
And when I was working up in Bowen, I bumped into a farmer, got talking. He doesn't let anyone on his property, but we just got talking and really just caught a vibe and got on really, really well. And he just said, look, mate, if you want to go for a walk and shoot a few pigs and fucking knock yourself out. And I was like, oh, really? And he goes, yeah, fucking oath. Go and get the key. So there's there's a sign. This is how serious they take access. There's a sign on the front gate that says $3 million fine for if you access the property.
Yeah, right.
There's all this disclaimer. It's heavy security. But anyway, long story short, I got an opportunity to go do that, which I was very grateful for. Bumped into a few pigs the first time I went out there, didn't shoot them. And then just sort of soaked up my time in the bush. And my son was in Early Beach holidaying with some school friends when I was working up there. So I went and scooped him up for the weekend, took him bow hunting, and we actually fucking got the first pig. And he was right there with me.
Yeah, that's
sick,
special,
man.
eh?
Best memory ever.
I reckon I'll get into it because I've always hunted.
Yeah.
To some degree, I've hunted with rifles.
Yep.
And I've hunted with dogs, with pigs. And like I've always liked it.
Yep.
And it just got to a point. Like when I was younger, there wasn't a heap of fishing. It was hunting. And I was went mad with hunting pigs. And got to the point where like, when you tick all the boxes, like caught X amount of 100 plus kilo pigs and just got stale of it. So then I started like spending heaps of time. I was like, I want the best dogs. So like started spending heaps of time training dogs and all that sort of stuff. And then moved north and on the coast, fishing took over, hunting dropped off. And then obviously fly fishing in the last couple of years for me has been really special. And then Aiden and James Doomsis, who are twin elements. They've both been bow hunters since they're like 4 years old. Their old man's a bow hunter. Long history and deep knowledge. Like Aiden moves through the bush like a fucking ghost cunt.
Yeah,
it's insane.
I bet.
And does shit that like he doesn't even realise he does, but just unreal to watch. Anyway, we've been like trying to toy up because our mutual friends Ben Rennie.
Gotcha.
I think they had like shit to do with each other in Melbourne. And, we've had them like they come around here all the time, have dinner and fucking big cook ups and talk heaps. James bounces. James does a lot of editing for the Twin Islands boys and comes and bounces stuff off me and critique stuff. And we've been threatening to organise to get out together one way or another, diving, fishing, hunting. Aiden said, I've got 2 days off before uni exams or 3 days off before uni exams, let's go. So I was like, fucking oath. We went out to this property they had with deer and pigs, and like I got to like fully experience it like from go to O pretty much.
Yeah.
I ended up like stalking deer, a mob of deer by myself. And I got to like 30, 40 meters, I think he said.
Yep.
From this mob of stags, just with the camera.
Yeah.
And like that was like the
It's
tick.
cool.
Yeah. It was the tick the box, and like I attribute a lot of it to like it's very similar to fly fishing.
Yeah, it is.
Like if you look at it on
is.
paper, it's a dumb way of doing something.
If you look at it, something hard, make something that's already harder. Yeah.
And I think that's what the attraction is.
Fucking oath it
and
is.
I think
yeah.
it's so
it's
immersive.
that delayed gratification.
Yeah, it's so immersive because you're taking into account, like you have with a
Everything.
rifle, you take into account wind and all that sort of stuff, but like you're 200 fucking meters away. Sometimes.
Yeah.
Bow, you got to be like, some people hit them from 60, but like most people are like, what, 30, 20?
Yeah.
You got to take into account so much stuff, man.
Yeah.
Like literally to the point where we were stopping to let like Lousy Jacks or Happy Jacks or whatever finish and fuck off because they were like putting alarm calls out and stuff and like telling things we're here.
Yeah.
Like
it's interesting, eh?
Yeah, and literally like having the patience to stand still, not just stand there and wait, like stand fucking still, dead still, and not talk.
Yeah.
For could be an hour.
Yeah, 100%.
It's fucking hard.
Yeah.
Taxing on the body.
It is
taxing
actually,
on the mind.
It's
Tiring.
surprisingly taxing on the body to stand in one position for a long time. I've shot 5 pigs now, and every time I go into the bush, I learn something new. Just a little level, and that's what I really enjoy about it. That to me was like what fly fishing was. Now I feel like in fly fishing, I never feel like I'm good at it, but I feel like I'm competent. Bow hunting for me, I'm at a very fucking ground floor. I can shoot. I'm learning about animal characteristics and their behaviour, and
I'm really lucky because I had
time.
I'm lucky because I had a bit of like a background into like hunting and I grew up in the bush and everything, so I wasn't too bad. Thank fuck. Because I reckon I'm going to pick it up.
Oh, for sure you will.
I missed out on the bow by 15 minutes.
Oh, did you?
I messaged that dude.
Yeah.
Because Aiden sent it to me. That story, and the dude's got a private account.
Yeah.
And then I was at a mate's engagement party last night, and then you sent it to me, and I was like, this motherfucker throwing heat at me, or what? Which is why I rung you.
You're not that famous, man.
Nah, I was like, am I copping shade from somebody, or what's the go? But yeah, it was a fucking bow he was selling.
Yeah.
I missed it.
I nearly bought it.
Fuck, I wish you
just
did.
to buy it and then, like sell it to you.
Because markup.
No markup, just to secure it.
Yeah.
Because I know you're into it.
I would have, if I would have known, like, I would have grabbed it most likely. Because anyway, fucking missed out by like 15 minutes.
Spewing.
So sad. But he's on the look for me now.
Great.
Which is sick. I got Nick looking for me.
Yeah, you'll get one. Fucking no problem.
Yeah. Because I fucking thoroughly enjoy it. Shot Aiden's. Yeah. Aiden's bow. It's very similar, like how you sight it and stuff with open sight rifles. Yeah. Like 2 sight points.
Yeah.
And like breathing is very similar.
Yeah.
And Aiden's, I was lucky because
touch squeeze.
Yeah. Aiden's got a very similar like arm length and everything. His draw length's the same to me. My problem's going to be drawn because I fucking blew my shoulder.
Your shoulder, yeah.
Like, and it's my left, and I'm right-handed. Like holding the bow out, fucking hurts when you draw. I was aching.
Do you know the funny story? When I got Adam's bow, it was fully wound up.
Like I think it's maybe pound.
I think it's like 73 or something.
Yeah.
Fully wound up. I didn't measure it, but it's about that. And when I first got it, I went to pull it back. I couldn't fucking pull it back.
Yeah.
Poor technique, not developed muscles in that area or whatever. Like I wasn't used to like how much effort you need to pull it back.
It's like lock your shoulders out and then like push pull.
So fucking hard.
Man.
Bad technique will do everything terrible for you. But so I wound it all the way back to like I think it was like 62 or something like that. Then got my reps up, slowly wound it up. Now full draw, no problem. It's a piece of piss now, but I know what to expect, and I've got a bit of muscle memory and stuff now. But just like I used to when I was a kid playing golf, you would know the same thing from your days playing golf. When you hit one in the middle, nice clean swing, there's no better feeling. It's the same as fucking tight loops. It's the same as sending a fucking arrow and it hitting exactly where you fucking put that sight. Like it's just that fine motor skill achievement, you know what I mean? And for me, I love the whole process. Like when I shot my first pig, it was a poor shot selection. It was quartering on, smoked it. It only went like 35 meters, but I wasn't patient. I rushed it. I was panicked. I shouldn't have took that shot, but I took it. And sorry, I'm not speaking on you.
That's right.
I took it and the pig died very quickly, which was great. The second one that I shot didn't recover. I couldn't recover it.
Yeah.
Again, rushed shot. And I shouldn't have shot it where I shot it because just the scenario where it ran, I couldn't track it.
Yep.
I couldn't get up the bank of the creek quick enough to see which direction it went.
Mm-hmm.
And because it was a poor shot, probably like it would have died, but I didn't know which. I couldn't tell where it went. And I think it was like high lungs, not much blood or anything to follow. And then, so the next two that I shot after that, I couldn't recover. One of them was a rush shot. I think I hit it a little bit back. So unfortunately, that animal would have died a slow death. And that sort of like really made me self-reflect on my process. And then the next one, I was out in the bush. I was like, right, you are fucking taking your time.
Mm-hmm.
You will not fucking shoot until you are ready to shoot and the animal is in the perfect position and you're calm.
Yep.
And even if you draw on this animal and you don't squeeze the trigger, it doesn't matter.
No.
So when I went into that mentality then, I stalked the pig for about 15 minutes. Like it was a real high-paced cat and mouse, like cutting the wind. It was on the move through the scrub and I was like just skirting the wind and I had to like almost jog between trees to stay in front of the wind.
Yeah.
And then it pulled up and it was fucking digging around or whatever. And I snuck in, like it was a really windy day, so it was quite noisy. It was really dry shit under my foot. But I managed to get into like 23 metres.
Mm-hmm.
And it stopped and it came out into this little shooting lane between all these trees. And I pulled back. I've got it on my GoPro actually, just to review what I did. And I was at full draw for a long time, just waiting for the right moment, and I could feel myself just calming down, like just really calming down, breathing and squeezed, perfect shot, 15 metres, fell over, and I was just like, I feel like I fucking understand what you're supposed to do now.
Once you do it once,
so then you can build on that.
Yeah.
And it's the same as fly fishing. I used to rush my casts. I used to, remember, even that Tusky, you can't remember that?
2 cook casts.
Rushing, I'm like, oh, you can't, stop.
And then I was like,
Get the boat in the right position. Okay, now go.
And I laid it perfect.
Perfect. And that's it.
And you have the ability to do it.
100%.
But you just kook yourself. Yeah,
it's
like
getting rid of the
up.
pressure out of your mind and going through that process. And that's what I enjoy about it. And the outcome is potentially food for your family. But it's that delayed gratification that I love about it, man. You've got to work for the results.
Tight loops, though. You know that sound? That
Yeah.
That sounds fucking so nice.
You know what I love when you get that sound and then you let it go and it just folds and the fly just goes plop.
Yeah, really
so
soft.
Quiet. Yeah.
Man.
Best ever.
That is the best ever.
Yeah.
I still don't. Bow hunting doesn't trump fucking fly fishing yet for me.
Nah. I really, because working up in that zone where it was so fucking windy, I just took the opportunity to go hunting as much as I could. I spent a lot of time in the bush and it's kind of like my early days of fly fishing. Like I wolfed a lot of flats where there was no fish. So it was kind of like, I mean, I've got a few friends in the bow hunting community that could really shortcut my process, but I don't want them to.
It gets like that, hey?
Yeah, I don't. Like Nick's invited me so many times to go shoot mountain boars and all that, and deer and all that sort of stuff. And I love that the opportunity is there, but I don't want to do that.
He dangled the carrot at me the other day.
Yeah. I just don't want to do it because I want to do it myself.
Yeah.
That's what it was with fly fishing. Hey?
I warned him about dangling carrots.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah.
So bad. I'll be up there fucked.
Yeah.
Climbing fucking mountains.
Yeah.
Man.
Is what it is.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, we're on fly fishing, so let's talk about this fucking trip.
Yeah. Fuck. Where do we start?
Go back.
At the start, I guess.
Go back. I'm going to get a drink of water while you fucking start talking. Do you want one?
Yeah. Let's cut it. I'll have a drink of water too.
Righto. Right, we're back. 2 hours later.
Yep.
Fuck, man.
That's what we do, eh?
Yeah, we've done some bangers, eh?
Yeah. I don't know. We talk like this on the phone, man.
Yeah, we do. This is like...
But you won't record them because you're off the phone podcast.
I'm not about it, eh? I'm not about it. It devalues it for me, like from at a personal level.
Yeah,
I'd rather like sit and...
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, which is why I like I only get like... I'd sort of commit to like one a month. At least every, like,
sense,
4 to 6 weeks, I get them out.
Yeah. Well, we had one of these fucking when I was at Bowen.
Yeah.
But we don't record everything.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need
we have
to.
these chats
Something's
heaps,
just
man.
us. Yeah, it's fucking good. I get a lot of value out of it, eh?
Yeah. I think, like what you've been where I'm sort of, in a way, like been where I'm going.
Yeah.
And then I picked up stuff as well myself.
100%.
And like share that.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, yeah, we're super open about like how we,
Yeah.
with our business and our
and shit,
personal
yeah,
lives and
definitely.
everything. It's pretty good.
It is good, man.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people that are younger than me fucking inspire the shit out of me.
Same.
Big time.
Makes me sad that I'm old. I'm not even
Yeah,
old.
but you're not old.
Nah.
That's the thing. Like, everyone thinks they're old, but you're not. Like, I'm 39. I think I'm old.
I'd think I was old at 25.
Yeah.
I think it's just a feel old.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's two guys on the boat that I just went on. They're 60.
Yeah.
And he's like, "You're 39? Fuck, man, I wish I was 39."
Yeah.
It's just reality. It's
Yep.
just relative to where you're at. But yeah, fuck, let's talk about that trip.
Yes.
I'm high on life right now,
Yeah.
dude.
Go back, like, how did, because you've been on a road trip for a little while.
Yeah, I have actually.
Because you went,
So every now and again, like I just block out 2 weeks of good weather. Like time, tide, and weather waits for no man, obviously. And so when you have a business that's based around creating content on the water, it's very important that when there's a small window of opportunity, you squeeze the fuck out of it.
yeah.
Which is pretty much what I've always done. So that's what I've done the last like sort of 7 or 8 days, I guess, basically. So me, Benny and Michael Wood did a trip up to central Queensland, filmed a bunch of Shimano stuff and some stuff for Tackle World with our braid and jig release that's going to be in stores for Tackle World. And then I spent a night at a Wonga with Michael Wood on the way home, and we were talking about barra and fly fishing and all that sort of stuff. And I said to him that I've got this fly fishing trip coming up, and I'm fucking keen because like he wanted to fish all night for barra. He caught a 101 and a 80. I didn't get a touch. And he was like, "Oh no, we'll wait till you catch one." I'm like, I couldn't give a fuck. I'm fly fishing in a week or so. And how that came about was I had planned. We've got a contract with Humminbird that we're creating some films for, and I still need to keep just stockpiling bulk content for what we've got going on with Tackle World and not just our normal shit. So I planned this trip around this fly trip that was happening. So Rory from Tropical Sports Fisher is good mates with Flynn. And so Flynn rang me one day, he goes, "Rory is going to message you. Whatever he asks you to do, just promise me you'll say yes."
Huh.
I was like, "Okay, why is that?" He goes, "Do you want to come to XYZ?"
Yeah.
Like we've been talking about it for months. He's been telling me what he's been doing there and what he's been catching and shit. And I was just like, yes, 100%. So Rory messaged me, all these details, big fucking thing. I just wrote back in capital letters "in," exclamation mark, like let's fucking go.
Yeah.
And I was really hoping the weather would come good, and it came absolutely fucking fantastic.
Yeah,
so
flat as a fucking tap.
proper good. Like it was 10 to 15s there for a period of like through 2 of the days.
Yep.
First day was like tabletop, like too calm. It was like looking into an aquarium. You could see the fish from a mile away. They could see you from a mile away. Like it was proper good conditions. But anyway, long story short is it was a trip cancellation. So Rory had a trip booked with a mothership for people to do 3 days of fly fishing. It got cancelled due to a lockdown bullshit or whatever down south. So he spoke to the owners of Aruna, which is the mothership.
Yep.
And they said, "Look, we're still keen to do a trip if you can get some people together." And so they got some people together. He said they could get some people together to do some content and just sort of stockpile a bunch of advertising content for the next 12 months and try to generate a few more trips, a bit more interest. So the deal was come fucking try catch permit and all sorts of shit, but swing off the camera most of the time and then fish a lot of the time as well. So that's what we did, man, and it was fucking sick. Like I won't say how long it took to get there or whatever, but it was relatively easy to get to, and fucking the first day blew my mind, man.
Yeah.
We got to we fished it in two little tinnies. We got there the first.
Aruna was a mothership.
Aruna is the mothership, out of Cairns. The first 10 minutes, man, I've seen fucking triggerfish, big spangos, spangled emperor, those barred jacks cruising around. They're fucking cool fish. And we saw permit, like fucking straight away, basically within the first hour.
Yep.
They weren't really catchable, those ones, but we just fucked around there for a day. As the tide was dropping, I really like wading. I hate casting out of a boat. For some reason, it just doesn't feel it's like bow hunting for me. Like fly fishing out of a boat almost feels like rifle hunting to a degree when you can wade if you have the
if you can
opportunity.
wade, if you can, fucking no.
So I just couldn't wait to get out on foot.
Yeah.
So eventually we got to the zone where it was a lot more permity, like a lot more grassy sort of sand flat, less rock and coral bombies and stuff, and couldn't wait to fucking get out basically. So jumped out, didn't even put the wading boots on, just walked barefoot. Got to the first like zone, saw a ray feeding.
Yep.
4 permit on it.
What the fuck?
I was just like, oh my God. And the first cast was pretty shit. Like I kind of just wasn't really warmed into it. I haven't been fucking fly fishing for a while.
Rhythm back.
Yeah. And anyway, spooked the fish off the first ray. Literally turned around.
Fuck yeah. Yeah.
Saw a ray over like 20 metres over. I walked over to it. It was mudding up. There was 1 permit on it. What I saw was 1 permit. Then the ray just got up and started moving, and I just sort of panic cast. And so I cast it, laid like 2 metres in front of the ray as it was cruising. 1 long draw, dunk, tight, fucking on. And I'd been catching tea leaf trevally and gold spots and shit. And I thought I was just one of them because I couldn't see any fish on it really. And then I couldn't see the fish that was on the end of my line. And I was like, I think this is a permit, eh?
They're like that too, the dogs. You can't see fuck all.
Couldn't see jack shit. And then as it came a little bit closer, I saw the sickle and I was like, that's actually a permit. It's a permit. But in my mind, I was like, I didn't really, like I saw them swimming around, but I didn't really expect it to be, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it was
I know what you mean.
unexpected. So it kind of took the gloss off it a little tiny bit, but when I saw how big it was, I was like, fucking permit,
Yes.
how good. Like the
They're
vibes,
big block eye too.
blotchies, man, block eyes, whatever you want to call them.
I don't know how you pronounce it.
I call them block eyes, but then every now and again I say blotchy. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, I don't know what.
Yeah, I think
fucks
block
me.
eye sounds cooler.
It does.
I like that. But
Like
anyway.
a notice block eye.
Yeah. So anyway, big block eye, come in like, and you know, like I'm a big one for if I can tail the fish myself, I want to tail it.
Yeah.
I want to do everything myself. So Roy's yelling out, "Do you want Flynn to land it?" Because Flynn had come over by then. Like, I'm like, "Nah, man, I got this. I got it." And like, he's like, "Don't panic." I'm not panicking. I can fucking land it. So I got this fish by the tail, and just realizing how big it was, I was just like, "Holy fuck!" Because I've caught 3 little anacs before that, and progressively got a little bit bigger. And the last one that I got was decent, like it was a respectable fish. But this one was like, that's like, holy fuck, this is the one.
Yeah, for people who don't know permit, anacs get really big,
Giant.
munt-headed fucking things, like metre long. Block eyes don't get that big. Like what, 75, 800?
I'm not really sure. I've read stuff where block eyes get
Look it up,
just
Jamie.
as big as anacs, but I've never seen a big block eye. I've actually never seen a block eye in person before I caught one. I've only ever seen anacs purely based off where I fish.
Yeah.
So anyway, I basically caught this fucking amazing block eye. I was high on life, and then the other guy that came out and met us out there, one of Rory's mates, he caught one while I was getting photos of mine.
Yeah.
And before the trip, he was going, "Oh fuck, I would love a double bending shot, you know, like a double permit shot," and got it done within the first like 90 minutes.
Fucking hell.
Ridiculous, dude. And so anyway, I'm just sitting there with a fish of a lifetime, like just soaking it all in, and just thinking to myself, how the fuck did this happen? How did I get here? Rewind a couple of days, right? We're at Faust. We're shooting stuff for the braid. Michael Wood's up there shooting Flynn, getting some home turf footage as well as for the braid.
Yep.
I meet them there. I was supposed to meet them there and fish with them, but I didn't get there till late, till Sunday afternoon.
Yep.
So Flynn, we were all talking up the weather and shit like that. Me and Michael had to drive back down towards Mackay to film for Hummingbird. Mm-hmm. And then we sent it back up to Prossie, and we were going to do an afternoon session and chill, and then I was going to leave the next day.
Yep.
Flynn rings me up and goes, "Dude, we're going tomorrow if you want to make it. Like, if you want an extra day's fishing." I'm like, fuck, it's 5:30 already. How long is it from Cairns to Proserpine? It's fucking like 9 hours or 9.5 hours or whatever
bullshit,
it is.
Yeah.
So I'm like, fuck. Madly charging all my camera gear, getting my food together, fucking having a shower, boom, 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 boom. This all just got piled onto me. I'm saying to Michael, "Hey, bro, I hate to do this to you, man, but I don't get to fish for permit very often. I don't, like, I want to stay and hang out with you tonight and chill and go over the footage and all that shit, but I got to fucking go, man. Like, I have to do this." And he's like,
He'd be
"Bro,
fine.
you do your thing." So I sent it through the night, get to Cairns like 2 o'clock in the morning, roll onto Flynn's fucking couch, cannot sleep. I'm that fucking excited.
Hyped, yeah.
And then, get out there land a fucking really, really good permit in the first fucking 90 minutes. I'm high on life already.
Yeah.
Right? High on life. Then old mate gets a permit. Flynn was just fucking off on the horizon somewhere, just fucking following
Doing
his nose, looking
things.
like a jabberoo on the flats.
Fucking-
His long legs was fucking in and out. Like,
Man.
it's like he takes his legs in and out of the water, and it
Water doesn't
even
move.
drip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little
He's a
little
fucking
skinny
jabberoo,
legs.
man. It's proper.
He's a
one of the
jabberoo.
fishiest fucking people I've ever met in my life.
He's shocking.
So good.
He just attracts things. Good
Yeah.
things just happen to that dude.
Yeah, it's just he just puts himself in those zones that just fucking. He's just got a knack for knowing
how
where
good-
the fish will be.
You know when you watch him cast fly?
Yeah, he's so smooth.
It's
with
just
it, man.
effortless.
Yeah, his back cast is one of the most beautiful
Yeah.
things I've ever seen in my life. My back cast is absolute dog shit. It's dog shit, man.
Yeah.
But I don't practice it,
Yeah.
and I should. But anyway, so yeah, that was the first day. 2 permit. I think Flynn caught a bunch of Spangled Emperor off on his own or whatever and doing his thing. And then we go to the mothership, which was absolutely epic. 5-star mothership, man. Fucking fantastic. Food was unbelievable.
Yep.
Facilities amazing. Bed so comfortable. Shower hot as fuck. Just perfect scenario if you don't like roughing it.
Yeah.
And if you're a person that, like wants to go and do 2 or 3 days like that and has the money to do it, fucking amazing. Absolutely amazing. But anyway, second day comes around. It was a bit of a bust of a day because we were exploring a new area and we kind of cocked up the tidal heights. Not cocked them up, but we sort of misjudged when we should have been walking and when we didn't because we were expecting the water to drain a lot more than it did. So we were wading water that was way too deep for what we were trying to achieve. Because what I found in the short time that we were there, the water height really dictated the amount of feeding permit that you find, which is very similar experience to what I have in the flats that I fish for Anax. If it's a right height, that seems to be just, that's the trigger that they sort of feed in. But then the third day, man, was fucking amazing. It was absolutely amazing. Early in the day, we basically just drove around getting drone shots and all that sort of stuff. And then, so I was on the camera immediately. And we come across to this deep edge. We were looking for bumpies, right? Get some tailing footage. The water was a little bit too deep, but we came across a ray and it had all sorts of shit on it. Spangos, all sorts of shit.
Yeah.
Then out of the dust comes these 2 cobia. One's about maybe 6-7 kilo fish.
Yep.
The other one's like 12, 13 kilos. Good fish. I think it was about 12 kilos. I might be overestimating it, but I didn't actually lift it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm on them with the film. I got at that point I had the 100 to 400
Oh,
on.
yes.
So I'm in, all right? I'm tight. We're a little bit away from it, but I'm tight. And the first one I was a little bit too tight. He ate the fly, like it come in from the top of the frame and ate it right at the top of the frame. You could see his head just go, and it's in fucking, like, it's good.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I'm too tight. So I wound it back a little bit, probably sitting around about 300, 250.
Yeah.
Lays it in again. This thing comes from nowhere and just fucking sideways on it, man. Fucking sideways, water everywhere. I'm just like,
Oh, how good is that?
Got him.
Yep.
Yeah.
And if you got the mic on, you got to not say nothing. You're like,
Exactly. Yeah, man. Yeah. That's a skill in itself, just to pretend you're not there.
Yep.
And so anyway, Flynn landed this amazing cobia off this ray, man, and that's the second cobia he's got off that flat.
Yeah.
Fucking sick fish. Definitely the biggest one out of the 2.
Those flats sound loose, man.
He's caught
fucking
milkies.
spangos.
He's caught milkies, spangos, permit. Like, fuck, he would have caught a dozen permit there now.
Man.
Cobia. They've had shots at bumpies. Big golden trevally there as well. And also on the third day, Flynn hooked a 30 kilo GT on 10 weight. Didn't even know it was hooked.
Rinse him?
Yeah, he was off a little bit. He just came running back going, "You guys got a fly?" I'm like, "No." He goes, "I just got rinsed by a 30 kilo GT."
Yeah, well, he'd know.
Didn't
And he'd
even
know
know.
GT sizes
Oh,
too.
big
so
time,
like,
yeah.
fucking, it would have been 30
Yeah,
kilos.
100%, yeah. So anyway, that was pretty epic. And then after that, I just kept walking down my lane. Didn't come across a ray for fucking ages.
Yeah.
Finally found one just starting to mud up. And it was about 100 metres away. So I slowly just crept up. Took about 10 or 15 minutes to get there. Just really quiet because the water was super clear. And I got there and all the smoke was billowing off it. And just in the smoke, I could see these 3 little black dots cruising around. And like, it's two of the dots are the tip of its tail, and the other dot's the tip of its sickle, just the brown parts cruising through the smoke. And I was like, oh, that looks like a permit. Then it comes out into the clear water, up current. I was like, oh my God, it's a fucking good permit. They look small in the water, but you can tell it's a good permit. And going back to like putting the bow hunting and fly fishing together, position myself where I should have, so it couldn't detect me in the current or anything like that, and got into a position where I could make a high percentage shot after shot after shot, and I just sat there really patient watching this fish, just got an idea of what it was doing around the ray and when I could put my line in, when I could take it out, and just really like took my time. And in that moment, that's where I felt like everything was coming together for me. I felt like the first one was a bit, not a fluke, but a bit rushed, and I didn't really soak up the experience. It wasn't really the sight casting experience that I wanted. And this one was like, nah, take your time. You've already got one. If you don't catch this, who gives a fuck? Take your time. So
when there's no pressure is when you perform your best.
Yeah, man. I cannot cast for shit out of a boat.
Yeah.
When there's 2 people in the boat, you're dodging people, the wind's over your wrong shoulder, and the boat's fucking drifting onto a fish.
Yeah.
When I'm sitting there looking at a fish, this is weird because it was the opposite for Flynn. This trip really made him knee shaking again on permit. And he's caught heaps of them now. For me, I'm so calm on these things now. I don't give a fuck that they're permit. I couldn't care less. Like, I just want to make the right presentation, and if it eats, it eats. Which I really enjoy. So anyway, fucking, without dragging it on, I ended up making like 15, 20, 25 casts at this thing. Almost every one of them fucking money. It would turn around, go to the back of the ray, I'd lay the fly in at the front of the ray, current would bring it down the side of the ray, fish by that time would turn around, come back to the clear water, long strip to get its attention, didn't even look at it. 15 times in a row, didn't even look at it. Keep going, the other side of the ray, chuck it in the dirt. Like, put it in the smoke. Didn't even touch it. Nothing. I'm thinking, this motherfucker knows I'm here and just doesn't care.
Yeah.
So then I thought, nah, put one right out. Like, put one out of the front. So at the risk of putting the line over the top of the fish, I shot it past the ray.
Oh, mate. Yeah, it makes sense.
And as soon as it landed, this fucking thing came out of the smoke, ate it with its eyeball out of the water, almost did a front flip on itself. And I'm just like, fucking bang, big strip set. It comes straight towards me. So I'm like, fucking like pulling
line out.
Loose line. Thinking, fuck, I really hope I hit him on the set. And then he turned around and just fucking took off, man. And I was just like, permit! Because they're down the fucking, down the track or whatever. And by the time Rory came over, I had landed it. And I was just like, fucking... That was the moment for me where I felt like it all came together. Like, a single fish, took my time, got the shot right, made it happen, stayed patient.
Don't you wish there was like, you could like just have, every now and then you could just after image yourself and just have yourself on a camera?
If ever there was a moment where I wish I had a GoPro mount on my head, but then it might not have happened.
That's exactly right. Because you might have subconsciously done something different because you had the camera on your head and fucked it up. Yeah.
The time that it takes to put the camera on the head, that stingray might have gone that way, and I wouldn't have been at that moment in the flat. Yeah. You just never know. It just wasn't meant to be that way. But that would be burnt. Anyway. Yeah, that would be. I would just love to watch it back.
Yeah. Because
I know how fucking amazing that experience was for me as a sight cast experience. So anyway, I landed that fish, and it was a fucking amazing fish. It was bigger than the first one. And I got everything that I could ever ask for out of that experience. And then I'm looking at the fish, and I remember thinking to myself that one of its eyes was like looking a little bit like glazed over. And then I looked at the photos as well, and it's definitely like got like a grey glaze in its eye. I think it might have been blind.
So you're saying you're casting on the wrong side of the ray, it couldn't see?
Exactly.
What the fuck?
That's what I'm saying.
That's funny.
Its left fucking eye was glazed over. So I'm casting on where it's coming to the front of the ray.
It's seen on its
right
side.
It's landing on its left side.
Left side, sorry.
When I finally got one cast to the far side of the ray, it fucking monstered.
So it probably would have... That's fucking loose. If that actually is the case, that's fucking sick.
Crazy, eh? But for me, like, that was a big lesson in patience and persistence.
Yeah.
And don't rush, don't panic. The fish hasn't spooked. Just keep doing your thing, and eventually it fucking happens. So, fucking crazy, man. Like, I'm high on life, dude.
I've been waiting for this. This is similar but slightly off topic. Waiting for this time of year because the moment the northerlies kick in, it works for this flat. You know what I told you? I seen those 2 permit eating bait fish on top water.
Yeah.
And that other donkey dinosaur anak was swimming around.
Yep.
That flat, the way it faces, it's hard to explain.
Yeah. It just works in a northerly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The northerly just suits it perfectly.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
So I've been waiting the whole winter, which,
yeah.
if people don't understand, like the trade winds pick up from the southeast,
Yeah.
and it sort of half fucks it because it blows dirty water from the land and out of the coastal creeks onto that flat, fucks it. I've hit it once and saw 4 or 5 permit.
Yep.
And just never, they were just too far away to get shots.
Yep.
So it's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
And like $1 million.
Let's go tomorrow.
We fucking actually could, for real.
Yeah, right.
We actually could. If it's blowing, like even if it, we were fishing it in 15s.
Yeah, right.
When we saw those fish. And it was like,
let's look after
clear.
this.
Yeah, we will. Yeah, but like I've been hanging out all year. And now from basically now when I can get a window to get away there for a few days, that's on dawn.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck everything else.
That's so good, man.
I'm going to fucking get an anak.
Yeah.
Off my own back, off my own flat.
That's what you want.
Yeah.
100%. Like when I got my first one, although it was small, it was a flat that I had walked every square metre of over a number of years. And to just do it with a fly and like box of flies in my back pocket, walking barefoot on something that I've put a lot of time into, and just do it by myself.
Yep.
It's delayed gratification, man. There's nothing like it. What a fucking feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That zone too, like that fucking GT, I'm so sad about that. I was with Tyson and Will.
Yep.
And I think I told you about it. We were on this flat and it was a glass calm day. I could see this wake coming and it was just mooching slow.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a shark because from the speed it was going.
Is this the golden flat you?
Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha. Yep.
Yeah, and there was the fucking thing was GT.
Yeah.
And I had the 12. I said, I'll just get the 12 ready. Anyway, got it ready, stripped the fly out, went to cast. The fly flicked up and hooked into the loop, like basically into the latch of my Pelican case.
Oh my god.
And it fucked the shot.
Just wasn't meant to be,
But
man.
literally come past the nose of the boat,
Yeah.
20-something kilo GT.
Yeah.
Like donkey.
That's just one little step in your story of delayed gratification.
Yeah. I'll get one.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
What about that time at that fucking Paradise that had like the three
of them
fucking things coming
and
out?
we just ran out of room.
Ridiculous, hey?
Man, they were like...
I'm like stripping going, it's going to happen.
Man.
Didn't happen.
And like, where you would have hooked that, you would have been pretty good chances.
Oh, massive chance. I'm fully confident of landing that there. Even that's the same thing, like you were saying, sometimes you set yourself up for success by what you prepare for. Like you said, you had the 12 out, you were ready. Even in that instance, remember we were around the corner and I was practicing my casting with a popper fly with the 12 weight.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I just feel like something might happen.
Isn't it weird how you get them gut
10
feelings?
minutes later, on the outboard, what are those things cruising? Oh, they're fucking GTs.
And they were fucking...
hooking.
We shot to the other end of the flat.
Yeah.
And we only just beat them there.
Got them there.
They were fucking eating stuff, man.
Yeah.
Anything,
they were only up there for one reason, man.
Anything that was up there was fucking in trouble. This GT that I don't even know if it would have even changed. It didn't.
Yeah.
But it was just like mooching. And that's why I thought it was a shark.
Epic.
It was fucking
so good,
hectic.
man. And they're the things like you never they're just the things in your own personal story. You never tell anyone or
you don't need
like
to. The longer I go down this road, then the less I even care
100%
about.
I don't care what people think. I like sharing stuff that's got to do with bringing attention to the business and just generally being part of the community.
I like sharing stuff that I enjoy and connecting with people that appreciate what I post.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah, I don't follow anyone, like even if it's people I actually like, I don't follow stuff that I don't enjoy.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd totally
Pretty
get
much.
that. I don't follow a lot of people that people would probably expect me to follow.
Yeah.
I just don't.
Why? If you don't enjoy it, why?
Yeah.
Like I'm on a chat with a heap of mates and they share photos and shit and posts from like their half cringy posts and whatever in their own opinion of like people in the fishing industry and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Why are you looking at that?
Yeah,
Why do you care?
Yeah,
They post that because they obviously like it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
fucking, you don't like it, man, unfollow them.
That's
like,
it, yeah.
Why are you sharing it?
I did that a lot. Like, if I don't follow someone, it just means that I just don't enjoy what they put on social media.
It doesn't mean you don't like the person.
Yeah, that's right. And in many cases, like, it's good for your own mental health not to be exposed to stuff that you don't like.
100%.
It's just what it is, you know. It's not an offensive thing. I don't care if no one follows me.
It comes back to the time thing for me too.
Yeah.
Like the time I spend getting annoyed or thinking about that thing that I don't like.
Yeah.
I could be thinking about something positive, or I could be like talking to somebody that I actually enjoy talking to.
Yeah, I think people don't take enough consideration into, like, you know how they say if you want to be healthy, eat healthy. What you consume visually, through your ears, through everything, is part of your diet. That shapes your view of the world.
You cull it, man, too. And, like, you've got to be accepting that people, that the road we're walking is different to most of, to most of the mundane. Like, 90% of the world is sheep.
Yeah, definitely. 90% of the world live in a comfortable.
I've lost friends because
me too,
they disagree with what I'm doing and how I'm presenting myself and everything like that.
And how much time you spend dedicated to what you want to be dedicated to.
And the fact that I'm not like calling them every week. And all that sort of stuff. And like it hurts, man. Like that I've lost close friends from it. And it's sad.
Well, I've lost people who I thought were close friends.
Yeah.
You know, like there's probably a couple of close friends I've lost, but more of them have been people that have pretended to be close friends.
And then I've got people that I've known for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Like Reedy, man. Reedy is one of my closest friends, and I've known him for a fucking slither of my life.
Yeah.
And it's weird how
you got that mutual connection.
Yeah.
That's just honestly, that's just as you get older, you filter out more of what you don't like in people, and your vibe attracts your tribe.
Yeah.
And as you get older, you'll see it in the next 10 years. That'll get even smaller and smaller.
Yeah. If you're a young dude listening to this, start making these changes now.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Fuck oath. Yeah. I wasted my 20s on people that don't mean shit.
Start doing positive shit.
Yeah. Start doing shit that makes you happy.
Yeah. And the rest will all fall in place.
Yeah,
Agreed.
definitely. Yeah.
Fuck yes.
Absolutely.
2 hours 30, should we round out?
Yeah, man, we can wrap it up for sure if you want to, definitely. There was something else I was going to talk about and I can't quite fucking remember.
I was thinking about it the same too when you were talking before.
Oh, there was that question from Nick that came through about the untapped thing.
Oh, yes.
Because that was probably one of the more well thought out questions.
It was actually
but it was
good.
too long for the
Oh, hang on, I've got
question
a few.
box.
I've got a few.
Right.
Oh, they're like just
rounded out with a couple of questions. It's been good, man. It's been a long fucking time.
We've had it, yeah. It's been a while.
If you ever call me back, it'd be fucking
Fuck
nice. We'll get it
off.
done again.
Fuck off. These are the least listened to podcasts on the whole fucking channel.
Oh, I bet they are.
Nah. They're actually the most.
He was so full of shit.
Oh, dear. Shannon Jeffrey. Shannon or Shannon with E-N. It's A-N or O-N.
Who is?
Shannon.
And is that a question?
No, she just like... Oh. Well, I think so. She said Shannon or Shannon and spelled them both the way she spells her name, which is N-N-E-N.
What is that supposed to mean? Like,
I don't know.
What's the question?
No, is it Shannon with E-N or is it Shannon with E-N? Basically, it's fucking Shannon with E-N is what she's trying to say.
Yeah, right.
It's O-N or A-N.
Did I say it wrong, did I?
No, I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know. It's O-N or A-N.
I can't remember.
It's not E-N. You're not even getting the fucking...
I have no idea what she's fucking on about, honestly. Good chick, though.
Parksy.
I like Shannon. She's good value, man.
Can slay a baz.
Can fish, 100%. And can take a photo.
Yes. Man, her photo game is fucking lit now.
Yeah. I like her. I like her, man. She's a good chick.
Yeah. Go follow her. Shannon Jeffrey. Shannen Jeffrey. Jeffrey.
Yeah. Proper
on
weapon.
IG. Take some really fucking... And like... I don't know anything that's similar. Like she's
just got her own vibe, man.
I think really nice, like overhead drone shots and shit.
Yeah, I think she kind of sees the world a little bit differently to most people.
Yeah,
especially most people up in that area.
Yeah,
I kind of feel like she's a bit of a black sheep up there.
Definitely, I reckon.
I feel like she's more of a North Queenslander. Yeah. That's what I feel like, genuinely.
Yeah,
I really do. Like she's got that vibe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like her.
Yeah.
She's becoming a good friend of mine as well. Like everyone in cast I would consider good friends.
Yeah.
Some are closer than others, obviously, purely by experience and time spent and that sort of thing. But there's no one that's involved in cast that I don't consider a good friend.
Yeah. 100, but it was what it should be. Otherwise,
Absolutely.
you need to have a fucking group you can trust.
Absolutely, man.
Parksy. Poor Triggy, just use him up as a co-host and drop him for the OG. The OG. Oh, I suppose you're the OG. You're episode 1, bro.
Let's go. I remember actually almost half talking you into doing it.
Yeah, I think so.
Episode 1, I'm like, bring the microphones, man. We're driving north. Big send. Let's do one.
I think it'd come about. I think I was like, I'm thinking about doing a podcast, man. What do you reckon?
Yep.
You're like, do it.
100%.
So I bought the gear.
Absolutely.
I think that's where it come from.
Yep.
Parksy's looking forward to listening.
Because I had been involved in other podcasts in the past, and just no one really like has the staying power to want to fucking keep doing it.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks that they're going to be successful and make money off shit like this. Like, this is fun, man.
I don't give a fuck about money.
This is fun.
If I picked up sponsorship or something like that, which I
You
probably
will?
Well, I don't know, because like there's swearing and controversy and all that sort of shit.
But look at Joe Rogan.
Yeah, true.
You know, like that's the extreme.
Yeah.
But I think I said it in episode 1. The most popular fucking podcasts in the world are real conversations.
Yeah. And
That's
I
what you do.
refuse to ever script anything. And I'm not saying
Why would
people
you?
who do script it are wrong, but I'm not.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, that's real.
These make me fucking happy. I
Yeah.
enjoy doing them.
Yeah,
and I'll
for
never
sure.
stop doing them.
I never miss one.
Nah.
I did miss one, actually.
Which one was it?
I'd rather not say.
Was it one of your ones?
No. I always listen to mine like 6 or 7 times.
I know which one. Fucking hell. Oh, dear. Yeah.
When are you dropping Johnny Mitchell's? Or is he off it?
No, he's off it. He bailed.
Did he?
Yeah, he wants to, because, you know, he's like, well,
Yeah.
you know him, like he's
Yeah.
super articulate. Everyone's
Yeah,
going to be
yeah.
so sad because, fuck, man.
Oh, I'm proper sad.
The chat.
Can I listen to it?
I'm gonna give it to you. So I apologise, JM, for what I'm about to do.
Yeah, but we're tight.
Yeah, it's actually a really great chat.
I would love to hear it, man.
Deep as fuck.
I bet, yeah.
Deep as fuck that I confuse myself and have to stop talking.
Yeah, I get along really well with Johnny, but it's always really like fleeting conversation.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to intrude on his life too much, but he inspires me a lot.
Yeah, he went deep, man, and told me a little bit of personal shit.
Yep.
And like, it's one that I'll still keep. I'll never
Yeah,
delete it
of
because
course.
I'll listen to it myself.
Yeah.
And like, I really appreciate his time. It was like 2.5 hours.
That's amazing.
I just went to his house and just sat down and fucking had a chat. And
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
really wicked. But because he's so articulate
Yep.
and structured with how he speaks and
Yep.
how he presents himself on
Yep.
socials and everything
Yep.
like that, he was like off with how it was structured.
Yeah.
But it was structured normally for me because
Yeah,
I wing
for
everything
sure.
and
Yeah,
try and
yeah.
which I think I'm getting better at.
You definitely are, man. Go
Like-
back and listen to the first episode.
Yeah, way different.
You're
way different.
fucking way more comfortable as a conversationalist.
I can.
Yeah.
What I try and do is like I make a rule that I never have a plan. I have a few bits
Yeah,
and pieces
yeah.
that I want to know
Yep.
just for my own benefit,
Yep.
and then I try and like shoot questions or
Yeah.
keep the conversation. That's my challenge for
Yeah.
myself.
Yep.
To keep the
So you're
conversation.
definitely getting good at it. Yeah.
I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. Like it's actually a challenge as well.
It's a good skill. It's definitely a good skill.
Yeah, they're getting. I feel, in my opinion, they're getting better and better. As
Yeah.
in for like the
And so they
information.
should. That's
yeah.
the way it should go.
Yeah.
It's like your films, my films,
Yeah.
all that shit. It should just be getting better and better.
Progression.
Yep.
Good gang. Whiskey Wade or cider Mick? You'll be impressed that Mick has not had a fucking cider since he's been here.
Yeah, I've had an espresso martini that's slightly less gay.
Yeah, and
apparently.
Slightly less.
But I did have a straw,
Yeah, you did have a straw.
stainless steel straw.
I tried to not give him the straw, but he wanted a straw.
Fuck,
Right,
you're
right.
such a liar. Yeah, you talk so much bullshit. Eh?
Fuck yes.
But I'm currently sipping my second whiskey.
Neat too. mind
Man
you.
shit.
Yeah, neat, mind you.
Got 2 of my top buttons undone, chest hair flowing, neat whiskey,
Oh dear.
deep voice. Real man.
Fucking hell.
Almost feel like Triggy.
No one can ever be as manly as him.
It's fucking facts, eh?
Yeah.
I always feel like a little girl around him.
Yeah. I love
So
Andrew.
weird.
I wish Andrew lived closer. That's what we're doing, Cloud9.
Yeah,
Fishing,
yeah,
yeah.
yep.
Right.
Nick, yeah. He's a fucking legend. I really like Nick.
He's a fucking
He's a
nice
good fella.
dude.
I played cricket with his brother actually back in the day.
True.
Damien, yeah.
Fucking hell.
Small world, man.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah, fucking hell.
Good cricketer too. Both really good hockey players, those boys.
Yeah.
I think they both played for Queensland, if not Australia,
Fuck.
at some level. Really good athletes.
Fact check? Nah.
You can
Legit.
fact check it if
Nah,
you
I
want. They
believe you.
definitely both played for Queensland. I know
believe
that
you.
for a fact.
I believe you.
Yeah.
he asked, with more and more people documenting the amazingly cool shit they do, how much local Australia fishing or adventure-related stuff do you feel is still relatively untapped?
Oh,
Cape York.
That's a fantastic question, because I remember when I read that, instantly what I thought about was some of the more popular areas that have been YouTubed a lot. That's a handful of areas along the east coast of Queensland alone. Australia, like, let's just take Queensland, for example. There might be, say, half a dozen good zones that people YouTube the fuck out of.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Like, we went years and years doing goals episodes and home turfs and all sorts of shit, not giving away any locations for anything. But YouTube just fucks it in that regard, right? There's a lot of areas that a lot of people are very careful with how they film and what they showcase out of respect for local anglers, especially people who travel to areas. If you travel to an area and were shown something by a local, treat it with respect. It's not yours to give away.
Yeah.
You know, like, I fucking can't stand that.
Is it an inevitability, though?
It will be, though. That's the thing. Like, it's an inevitability. If you don't want to risk someone showing your zone, and you know they have a YouTube channel or something like that, or they do films even, like for us, don't show them. Simple as that. You know, like, even you know, like when we go and do like a you know, like a paid gig, like say for instance Rocky Council. Part of that job was to go and film Kobe catching threadies.
Yeah.
Kobe Pascoe. If you don't know him, he's a fucking absolute weapon on the Fitzroy around central Queensland.
Yeah.
But I remember reading a comment on Facebook after that, like, because we caught fish,
Yeah.
right? It was like someone wrote, "Oh, Kobe's guiding everyone." I'm like, well, actually, we're on a film job where we're supposed to be filming Kobe, and we all fished.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't mean I don't go back there on the next set of neap tides and fucking smack threadies because Kobe showed me. I've never been back there since.
Yeah.
That was like 3 years ago. I've got my own fish I want to chase. So there is a handful of areas that get recycled, you know, like off 1770 in central Queensland. Yeppoon obviously gets flogged. I bet Fez used to be really upset about that, to be honest, because he spent a lot of time buzzing around in his little tinny and figuring it out, you know. Like,
yeah, well, he got lit up with Sus and all those islands out and, like, figuring out that they're fucking full of donkey GTs on the right times.
Yeah, man, and we're like, the fact that we're not friends anymore doesn't change the fact that, like, that whole area was, like, off his back.
Yeah, that's that thing I was saying before with the whole don't like someone or whatever.
Yeah.
You still give them their due respect.
Of course, yeah. And it's not that I don't like him. I actually like Fez, but we're just not friends anymore.
Yeah.
But that's life.
It is.
The reality is, like, even him, like, he went and blew up that area for himself, like, with his affiliation with Tide at the time. He didn't have to do that. You know, there was a risk of that, you know, getting out of control or whatever. And then he was nice enough to show other people different areas, and then it just sort of goes on from there. So to answer Nick's question, there is a handful of areas, obviously, if you really pay attention, that get flogged by people who don't want to go and do their own shit. There's been a few areas that I myself personally go back to quite a bit because I was involved in being part of the first...
Figuring it out.
Yeah, well, not even the first ever, but the first kind of group of the currently active people who do good, you know, content and stuff, like where we catch tuskies or where I caught my first permit, stuff like that. I was involved in the very first, you know, go look and see type trips, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't me.
How do you measure, how do I word this? How do you measure, like, I've got that joint tap, right?
Yeah.
Hypothetically, I'm on socials.
Yeah.
You're a YouTuber.
Yeah.
We're friends.
Yeah.
I figured it all out.
Yeah.
I say, come up and YouTube it.
Yeah.
And I don't care if you blow it out.
Yeah.
Then there's Joe Blow.
Yeah.
Who's done the same amount of work as me.
Yeah.
And has the same intellectual property, so to speak, as me.
Yeah.
Who's right and wrong there? Like,
I don't think anyone is really. It's like, at the end of the day, it's a function of what the community is now. You know, like, there's a lot of people that just want to film everything. There's a lot of people that want to, you know, publicly have their dick sucked about how good they are. there's a lot of people who just fish just for themselves and fucking absolutely kill it, and no one ever knows about it. I just think no one's right or wrong. Everyone's just doing what they think.
Because you can't measure the level of it. So you've got Schultze with the dog tooth shit that he copped all that heat off.
What a load of shit. Like, fuck me.
So, like, what is the difference?
Yeah.
Like, how do you measure that, which is a fucking borderline impossibility to find those places, with no guidance?
Yeah.
It's a depth line. Good luck.
Go and turn your sounder on and go for a fucking drive and spend $300 in fuel like he does.
So then you've got that sort of situation, right, where it technically got blown up. We just say it got blown up.
Let's
versus
be real. What a load of shit.
Landmarks related coastline stuff.
Yeah.
Where do you draw the line? You can't.
Well, it's different for each person, really. Like, I got upset when a couple of guys went to a place that I hold very dear to my heart.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, what do you do?
Yeah.
I'm sure I've been to somewhere that's very dear to someone's heart, you know, like, and it might have been in a goals episode or a home turf or something, and, you know, maybe...
But you couldn't control that.
Yeah, like I went and filmed Flynn's home turf this morning, right? And this particular area where he's been banging really, really big fish, the only angles that I've had on his shit is from above, down on like a Minn Kota hand on the outboard, feet on the fucking deck, or from below.
I was wondering if that was going to be the home turf, and I'm actually keen to see how you put it together to not give it away.
I'm definitely not giving it away. There's nothing
I'm
that
keen
I
to see
filmed.
it.
There is not one thing that I filmed that will show anybody where that is.
Yeah.
People who know.
Yeah.
And that's why...
That's fine, though.
But that's why I filmed that shit like that. I'm an angler who does my own work.
Yeah.
I fish areas that I want to go and work out.
Yeah.
I don't want fucking people coming and really blowing that up.
Yeah.
Why would I do that?
That zone is like the fucking high end of like...
Yeah.
The most minor mistake will tell you completely where that is.
Everything, yeah. 100%,
Everything.
yeah. And you know the worst part about it? That whole entire area is so fucking cinematic in first light. It's ridiculous.
The way it faces.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. The way it faces.
It's like fucking the cream of all cream sunrises this morning too, and I'm just like...
You should have just filmed it anyway.
Nah, I didn't. Nah, fuck that.
For like stock.
Nah, I can't do that. And I won't do that. Like, I've heard whispers in the past, like, I won't name the guy, but he goes around every opportunity he gets telling people that, you know, the cast guys go and film stuff and then they just go back and fish it. Guess what we film? We film our own shit.
What do you mean? Like
we go and do home turfs or goals or what, you know, and then we go back to these areas and keep fishing it. Well, guess what? That's what we fucking do. That's our zones as well. You know, like we go and fish our own areas. This is our group of mates. Like, we don't go and, you know, like ring up the hottest guy in town and fucking say, hey man, let's put me on a bite for a fucking episode. When have we ever done that?
No. One thing
Never.
is one thing is like a lot of spots.
Yep.
Unless you know them.
Yep.
You don't know them. Like,
exactly. Yeah.
You can see like my home turf.
Yep.
That where we fished.
Yep.
For that fish. Mm-hmm. You have to be an NT, living in Darwin, and you have to know where that is.
Yeah.
Or like you had to have been guided there.
Yep.
To know where that is.
Yeah, and if you haven't been there, you haven't put the work
Not
in
a
that
fucking
system.
clue where the fuck that is, man.
That's right, yeah.
I'll give you 12 months and you would never find that.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I guarantee you, I didn't get one message about that, did you?
No.
There you go.
No.
Because the way it was filmed and where it was, like... But I have heard whispers through mutual contacts about people saying stuff like, you know, when, you know, the cast boys go and film their projects and then they just go back and fish it for themselves.
The hard part is where you draw the line. So you draw the line from, like, where you draw the line from people completely blowing up spots on YouTube, like, say, a vlog versus a film.
Yeah.
Where you can't draw the line there.
I can draw the line. A vlog is very fucking descriptive. But at the same time, man, you can't tell another grown man what to do.
Nah, but you can still...
If someone wants to blow up a spot, that's up to them. You just have to move in a different way. Like, if you don't want to contribute to that, don't contribute to it. If you don't want to get upset about it, don't watch it.
So how do you deal with it if you're a person that goes, fuck, man, like...
What can you do?
You're a recluse.
Yeah.
You don't have any socials, and someone blows up your spot.
What
and
can
like,
you do?
Yeah, but you can't do anything.
That's it. So why get upset about something that's out of your control? Like it... I mean, like I said...
Use it as motivation to go find another spot?
Yeah, that's a fair point. 100%. Like that... Ever since that zone that I am in love with, got blown up multiple times now, has been like fully exposed. Yeah. I have not been back there.
If you put a positive spin on it, hypothetically, those videos get more people in fishing.
Oh, absolutely. I was going to go back and circle around to Schultz's videos because I actually have never watched one of his videos until me and Flynn watched one yesterday. And what he's showing people and telling people how to do it. He's teaching people how to fish, and I think it's fantastic.
Yeah. I have a lot of time for Matty, man. I reckon the stuff he does is really, it's different content than just a vlog. Like it's an educational vlog. I'll be honest, I've never watched any of Matty's films. I watch a few bits and pieces, like snippets from his Instagram feeds and stuff. I haven't watched anyone's YouTube.
Yeah. It's also a function too of what people want to do with their time.
Yeah.
Like Matty,
so you go.
Matty might get rewarded financially for some of this stuff, which means you got to go and do certain things. Yeah. That's what it is.
But people, I see it as not to Matty's level because he's he spent the time figuring it all out. But I could, if I wanted to actually apply and go and do that, I could probably do it eventually, figure it out in a way. Whereas the people who probably enjoy watching that stuff don't get the opportunity or don't have the ability or the finances or whatever to go and do what he's doing, which is why they enjoy watching the content.
Yeah, and you also got to realise, probably more so now, but the reality is...
I need shares in Peter McKinnon, Daniel Schiffer. Who else I need fucking shares in? And video creating cunts.
Yeah.
Full-time filmmaker.
Oh, 100%. The funny thing is, though, with those guys, like Matty, for example, he might be giving out a lot of information on how to do stuff, but he's not saying, come here on this tide and this, there's still many pieces to the puzzle that you got to work out. And even if he is doing that and telling people how to do it, that's up to him. Yeah.
Well, we go back to the pie.
Grow the pie.
Matty, that's how you need to look at shit in general. So Matty goes and educates these people. Hypothetically, he blows up these spots. That's the one negative, right? He blows up these spots, but it gets 100 kids into fishing off the street,
100%,
stealing cars and shit.
Well, even it gets 100 future customers for guys like us, or him, or anyone else.
50 out of those 100 people will buy cast t-shirts, maybe cast lures, or will fucking
or buy pursuit tackle,
buy
shit
a boat or whatever.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
100%.
Like, people don't look that far ahead.
Yeah.
And then you've got there's people there that might just fucking hate their day job, and look forward to I see Matty's YouTube, Pleasure Pursuit, and Brooks's YouTube as two different types of content. They're both fishing related. Brooks's is more entertainment based.
Yeah.
Matty's is more educational based.
Yeah.
I think that there's value in both, but there's also negatives in both. Yeah. So
at the end of the day, there's an audience for every bit of content.
Yeah. Well, there might be people that love fishing but can't fish for whatever reason, and they might want to look at Brooks's content because they enjoy it. It's entertaining to them, and they don't fully understand the complexities of fishing because they don't get the opportunity to fish. Whereas there's people that get to fish, but don't fully understand,
of course,
what to do next or how to look at a situation. Yeah. And Matty provides that in his videos.
Yeah, definitely.
So
from what I saw on the one that I watched,
Yeah. So
I just think at the end of the day, man, you can't control what any other grown man does. All you can control is how you respond to it or how you react to it. I remember getting upset a couple of times about some things that I saw, but then I thought, you know what, fucking maybe some people get upset about something that I've done.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, at the end of the day, regardless of how you take it, it's your problem.
Yeah. But getting back to the question, in the context of that,
my answer to that is indigenous, a traditional owner managed land.
In terms of what?
The untapped.
I'll tell you what's untapped. Fucking everything that's not on YouTube. Dead set, man. I'm telling you right now. You watch those YouTube fucking scenarios, it's the same zones, the same fish, the same fucking vibe. There's not that much different. How many YouTube clips have you seen at Peter Faust chasing surface barra? How many YouTube clips have you seen chasing big GTs in central Queensland or off Fraser, including Benny? Or off 1770? How many of the, or jigging off fucking Moreton Bay? How many of those have you seen? It's the same shit over and over. That's fucking half a dozen areas in the entire fucking coast of Queensland.
But do you think
the entire state's untapped, mate?
Do you think
Get in your boat and go have a look. It's untapped.
The majority of people would look at them and they watch the film for the YouTuber, for the presenter.
It's entertainment, 100%.
They look at it for
Yeah.
the presenter and what the presenter provides, not
Yeah.
necessarily
Yeah.
the location.
There's a reason I don't watch, say, for example, Brooksy's stuff. I don't enjoy it.
yeah.
I'm 40 years old. You know what I mean? I'm not 23 years old thinking Brooks is a lord. Good on him for doing what he's doing. I fucking applaud that. That's everyone should have a crack at what they want to do.
Yeah.
Great, good stuff. But I just don't watch it because I don't enjoy it. And that's nothing wrong with me. I'm not taking away from the bloke down the road who fucking loves it.
Yeah.
So you have a choice to watch whatever you want to watch. But when it comes to that question of what's untapped, you'd be fucking surprised what's
Lots.
untapped, man. Queensland alone.
It depends how you look at it.
The entire coastline is fucking huge, man. I'm telling you. How many hidden flats have you seen where you've rolled up on and gone, fuck, that's a giant permit?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's a giant
People
tusky.
think permit are rare. They're permit everywhere.
Everywhere.
There's insane amounts of permit. The fucking, when you say untapped, like
Yeah.
it depends how you interpret it too. Is untapped where very few people have ever been or no one's ever been? Or is it untapped as in unfished? Like, it depends.
I mean, fuck. Well, you take, for example...
Me as unfished, my answer would be traditional owners managed land.
Yeah, me as
Conventionally
unfished would
fished.
be like... When I say unfished, I don't say never fished.
Yeah.
Like, unfished is like basically...
Rarely fished.
Rarely fished, and rarely fished on a certain technique.
Yeah.
There's a certain area that I've been going for a couple of years, chasing flat species,
Yeah.
that I know for a fact almost... If I spent 6 months between trips to that area, I don't think there'd be one fucking person that would fish it.
Yeah, right.
And it's only one tiny little flat. I haven't even told you about this.
Oh, true. I see how it is.
Well, that's just what it is. If you're in the boat with me when I go there, you'll see it. But otherwise, shh, zip. You know, it is what it is. I just think, honestly, you would be fucking surprised how much of the coastline is untapped to your own eye. You know, there might be so many people that go to certain areas. Like, I look at that section, well, for argument's sake, the section that, you know, all the YouTubers go to off Yeppoon.
Yeah.
You could say that gets flogged, right?
Yeah.
I'm not talking flats.
No.
I'm talking
I know what you-
Keppels, islands,
Yeah.
GTs, all that shit. There's like fucking thousands of rocks there that hold current, or, you know, just because someone fishes a certain island or a certain point or a certain shelf or a certain fucking bommy, that's not only where they are.
Yeah.
Go have a look.
Find them on a different tide.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's what you make of it too.
Yeah.
You got to fish for the right. I'm not even talking in the mic. You got to fish for the right reasons.
Well, here's an example, right? We go to that region quite a lot, Central Queensland. I was born there. I grew up in Rockhampton and Yeppoon. It's home for me.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I don't feel like I'm like intruding on anyone's local fishery.
Mm-hmm.
But the people that don't live there aren't intruding either.
Yeah.
You're quite well within your rights to go wherever you want.
That's right.
But we had a job to do for the council. They wanted to do a GT popping one.
Mm-hmm.
We went to an island group that we'd never been to before, looked for bait and current, and caught a GT.
Yeah.
Like,
If you the
no one told us to go there.
The basic principles of fishing, because you can go
Exactly.
to any spot anywhere and
Yeah.
it can be fucking dead.
That's exactly right. And that's what I mean about untapped. Like, unless you actually get in the boat and go and look,
Yeah.
you just don't understand how much water there is that you can go and explore.
Man,
So much water.
a mate of mine literally, like I was talking about his engagement party, just found a rock, right?
Yeah.
And it's in a spot that he's passed over a fucking 100 times. And everyone else has too. And like, he found it by he records his tracks on his center, obviously.
Yeah, yeah.
And this track he ran is just slightly, like a couple metres off to the side.
Yeah.
And he's found this fucking whopping great rock.
Yeah.
And it's like super fishable, super local,
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah.
Like, and that's just spending the time
Yeah, yeah.
figuring it out.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Like, we went and got a feed a finger mark today
Yeah.
for a couple of hours, burnt 5 litres of fuel.
Yep. There you go.
Yeah. And from spending time
Yeah. That's
figuring it out.
And that's the thing. Like, it's untapped to people who want to go and have a look. That's
Yeah.
all. Like, you think about the square kilometres of area
Yeah.
that you can go and have a look.
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, YouTube and all that shit, it is what it is. If you like it, you like it. If you don't like it, you don't have to live with it. Don't watch it. Simple.
Very true. Do you want to round this out?
Yeah, we can
3
round it
hours.
out, man. Is it really?
Yeah, it's 3 hours.
Jesus Christ. I'll just finish on that with the untapped thing, right?
Yep.
When I got
How long are you
upset
going to talk for?
about...
Because I'm really busting the piss. You keep talking?
2 seconds.
Yeah, well, I'll pee.
No, 2 seconds.
Okay.
One, like that
I'm
flat, that flat that I was upset about getting blown up. Me and Maddie had both talked about it being like one of the best permit fisheries in Queensland. I just stepped off one of the best permit fisheries in Queensland.
Yeah.
So it just goes to show what you think is amazing might not
time.
be in something as amazing as something you haven't even fucking found yet. So just get in your boat and go.
I was about to say, get off your ass and go do some shit.
Yep.
100%. I'm going to round this out with a quote that sort of complements everything we've pretty much spoken about. And it's The Man in the Arena by Teddy Roosevelt, who was a president of the United States. I don't know what his term was.
Don't know.
Yeah. Fucking, I think he died.
Olden days.
Yeah. He died, he's like 1800s, late 1800s.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. No, wait up. I could be fucking completely wrong. No, I'm going to fact check myself because fucking I'll get reamed.
By who? One of those 6 people who listen to this.
My mum.
Wade.
Fuck, where is it? I need to know.
It was 1890.
Yeah, she'd probably know too, actually. I need to find it. Yeah, so he said this in 1910. So it was I'm pretty sure it was the late 1800s that he was born.
This is probably going to be very similar to what I was saying at the start about how no matter what period of time you live in, somebody's done it before.
100%.
Nothing we're doing now is new.
No. And all the shit was preaching now, like with the business, with the life, with the mindset thing.
Yeah.
Like this dude's he said this in 1910.
Yeah, there you go.
The same shit.
Yep.
And
people are the same year after year.
Yep.
We all go through the same shit.
Yeah. So we'll end it on this. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows that in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat.